Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and let's get ready for EJ Boxing Live.
Alright, so breaking news, yeah. So Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving and DeAndre Jordan is going to the Brooklyn Nets. That means the Knicks don't get nothing here with Kyrie or YG night. So you just hear the news, yeah. That's what's happening, and they both got max. Like Kevin Durant's got 164 mil, and Kyrie's got, I think it's 42 mil, 142 mil. So, and George, I don't know what Deontay's got. What's your take, man? Is it changed the landscape? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I mean, this to me means Kawhi Leonard has to get out of Toronto. He has to go to the Lakers now. That's basically what this means. If he plans on winning another championship, he has to go to the Lakers.
Because what you
forget the Clippers, forget all of those other teams. He has to go to the Lakers because I don't see too many people beating what they have. The Nets. I mean, you still got the Dinwiddie guy. They still got Jared Allen, shot blocker. You add another shot blocker in DeAndre Jordan, as well as interior defense. I mean, Brooklyn's going to be legit off the top. I mean, they should make the playoffs because, you know, Durant missed like the majority of the season. So they should make the playoffs, and he'll come back at full strength. And I don't see nobody in the East beating him. I mean, not Milwaukee, Toronto, definitely not Philly. I don't know. The East is strong again, man. The East is where it's at now.
Yeah, that's what I said to YG. I think it's changed the landscape, man. I think, but Kevin Durant, I think he's gonna play next season. Kyrie, they probably won't have no depth here, but just that as a front line, that's pretty intimidating. But I don't know. It's the same thing in YKC when they had Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, and they had the center, they had Ibaka, and then they had the new guy Adams. You know what I'm saying? They were okay. That these three teams, yeah, usually would do it, but back in the days, they don't work now. You need a whole squad now, man. And Kyrie's okay, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how they're gonna work. Is he gonna pass the ball? He like passing the ball. You know, Kevin Durant can get his own. I don't know whose team is it gonna be. Whose team would you say it's gonna be?
It's gonna work perfect. It's Durant's team. I mean, if you look at the way basketball has been going in the last 10 years, it's always been like a big wing player that dominated the NBA. You got LeBron James, you got Kevin Durant. I mean, when Carmelo Anthony was still really good, Paul Pierce. Like, it's always been those type of guys, man. So to me, it's Durant's team 100%. But to me, you got the two best closers in the NBA. Those are the two best closers. I mean, both of those guys can close games, so they shouldn't have any issues down the stretch of games closing those, because you got two of the better closers in probably this modern era. So to me, they're legit, man. I mean, it's gonna be entertaining to see, but I think they're gonna take over the East now. I mean, once LeBron James left the East, it became more wide open, which made it more competitive. So you had teams like Milwaukee rise out. You had the Philly process starting to take effect. I mean, Toronto, a team that the Cavs used to sweep every year, ended up I mean, it's now Durant just moved out of the power back to the Eastern Conference, because I mean, if you look at the teams in the Western Conference now, Golden State's out of there. They're going to go back to where they once were. They'll still be formidable, but I don't think they'll be championship contenders anymore. And they're moving into that new stadium. They're charging ticket prices out the wazoo. So I think that they'll be there, but they won't be title contenders anymore. Houston will be the same, really good, but not a real threat. So the West is more wide open than anything. To me, it's a lock if Durant can come back at full strength down the stretch of the regular season and then going into the playoffs. If he can come back and look like Kevin Durant, it's clearly Brooklyn Nets all day.
Yeah. I think. What about Milwaukee though, man? Because Milwaukee ain't got no one. Yo, Giannis is down there by himself, right?
Yeah, I mean, he got a really good team around him, but they only have him, and he's not a superstar yet. Like, he's peaking, but he's not there yet, because in the playoffs you saw him exposed. Like, he can't really shoot outside of the paint, and that's going to be an issue. That's the same with Ben Simmons in Philly, and I don't know if Jimmy Butler's going to stay there or not, but as far as Philly, they'll be a really good team, but I don't see them. I can't really see them beating anybody over there. He has to, if he wants to win another championship, he's going to have to leave Toronto. He can't stay there. and contend with Durant every year in the East. There's no way.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler's meeting with Miami and he's meeting with Houston. I expect him to go one of them teams. I don't know what Miami. I don't know if they got down there. But I think if we go to Houston, they might go to Houston. So we expected.
I think he'll go to Houston.
Where do you think?
Yeah, Houston has a better chance.
Yeah, they have a better chance, right? So what do you think?
Now that Durant's out the West, they have a much better chance now to get to the finals. I think Durant made that move specifically because he kind of figures, if I leave Golden State, they're not going to be the same team. So more than likely it's going to be the Lakers, depending on what they do. I think they're talking to D'Angelo Russell. To me, I wouldn't even go after Russell. I would get like another point guard, a decent point guard, and go try to build a better squad around those guys versus having 3 superstars. Like, I don't see how that's going to work, especially with LeBron at this age. Like, I think they should just keep AD, feature AD as the #1 primary scorer, have LeBron play point guard, and just have a really solid core of players that play defense and can shoot the 3. That's what the Lakers need.
You don't think Kyrie gonna go there?
Kawhi Leonard?
Yeah.
I think that, his chances of going there just raised tremendously because, Kyrie Irving was the only other player that was, like, on that caliber to, put the Clippers over the hump if he was to go over there. Because I think that was his second team behind, I think that was his #1 team behind the Toronto Raptors, of course. But now that Kyrie Irving is in Brooklyn, who else would you pair him with in the Clippers? So the Lakers is the only other team that actually can. I think Kawhi Leonard knew all of this. That's why he put the Lakers. Because if you remember, everything was surrounded around him not going to the Lakers. It was all about the Clippers. The whole season, the whole playoffs, the whole finals. It was about him. If he does leave Toronto, he's going to go to the Clippers. And then once free agency is looming, all of a sudden the Lakers become like this third team out of nowhere. I think that was his plan the whole time. He wanted to see where Durant went. And then once Durant committed to wherever he was going to commit to, then Kawhi was going to make his decision now. So I think the Lakers are the #1 team on this list now. Not that Durant did that, because if you break down the team for team, Toronto can't match up with them if he was to stay on that team. Like, Kyle Lowry's not better than Kyrie Irving to me. Then you got DeAndre Jordan, who's I like Serge Ibaka, but Serge Ibaka's getting up there in age. DeAndre's still semi-young, so he should be able to win a lot of those same matchups as well as the matchup with Gasol. So, Toronto still has a really good team, but I don't think that they'll be able to beat Brooklyn. I don't think they'll be able to do it.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. Toronto ain't getting another championship again, bro. No, man, they done for that, boy. Their championship run is over, bro.
It was good, though, for them because, they only been in existence for like 24 years, and for them to win a championship after being swept so many years by LeBron James, I think that they happy. Like, I think that they got their championship, the whole country, that's the only team they got, so I think they happy with that.
That's like Cleveland, though, because you know what I'm saying, the city of Cleveland, every year you expect to go to the finals, and then when you finally got one, like, does it mean anything to... I know you got one over Cleveland. How much does it still mean, like, how many years? Does it still mean that much that you got a championship over there? Like...
Well, yeah, because you talking about a city that hasn't won a major championship. Either and LeBron James and Kyrie Irving wins that championship with the significance behind it, beating the 73-9 team, beating statistically the best team ever. Like, people you can argue the Bulls is the 72-10 Bulls or the Showtime Lakers or wherever, but at the end of the day, that Golden State team had the best record. They were scoring the most points. They was holding teams under, 102 points or something. That was an incredible team. Statistically, that was the best team we had ever seen, responsible for beating that team.
Yeah.
The defenders in this era. So that championship was so significant, and coming back from a 3-1 lead, like, hell yeah, that's going to last forever. Like, nothing's going to replace that.
And thing, and then next year, that's when they went and got Kevin Durant, because Cleveland, if they didn't got Kevin Durant now, you would have got 3 more championships now. Yeah, we would have had a couple of more. Like, that's what I'm saying. Durant kind of swung the pendulum when he went to Golden State, because had he just left it alone and he stayed in Oklahoma City, me and my buddy were talking about this the other day, and basically what I was saying, in my humble opinion, is I feel like Kevin Durant didn't want to play LeBron James when he was in OKC, because if you look at it, that OKC team could have beat Golden State. They had him up 3-1. And
all of a sudden Kevin Durant just forgot how to play basketball? Because he knew if he would have got to the finals, he would have more than likely lost to the Cavs. Because to me, the Cavs had I think Kyrie Irving was a better player than Russell Westbrook. So the matchups would have favored the Cavs, and they would have lost. And he didn't want to lose to LeBron James again. He had already lost to him in Miami when LeBron was in Miami, and he was at OKC when they went to the finals. Yeah. So I don't think that. I think that's why he went to Golden State, is because he knew he had a better chance with that team to beat LeBron than beating them essentially when he was the man in OKC versus LeBron being in Cleveland. So that's why he did that.
Well, LeBron's pretty smart. He worked out like, okay, where's my second championship gonna go, right? So he probably figured out that Kawhi was gonna go to the LA, right? And thought, well, where am I gonna go? So he said, well, okay, let me go. He's gonna go LA, and I know Kawhi gonna come next year. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna sit down and we gonna win this, like, cause you ain't gonna, like, I'll be surprised if he went to the Clippers, man. I was like, yo, why you going to the Clippers, bro? When LeBron's there, you know what I'm saying? You get another piece in there. You know, I thought Kyrie was gonna go join LeBron, but he's always been saying he wants to play in New York, so now he's in New York, right? But Kyrie, now it's about Kawhi now. This really comes down to Kawhi, like, cause look, they got Davis, right? Davis and LeBron, that's gonna be pretty effective as it is, but bruh, you bring Kawhi over that shit, just mark it down in the books, mate. Right? They're going to go on a couple, at least 2 championships more for LeBron. Mark it down in the books, man. Because I don't care who Kevin Durant over there with Kyrie and Jordan. Basically, you might as well say it's Kyrie and Durant. Kyrie, you know how Kevin Durant shrinks. You know what I'm saying? He's got heart and everything he's shown, but you know what I'm saying? When it gets too hot, you know what I'm saying? Kyrie as well. And Kyrie's always injured. He always been injured in the playoffs. LeBron's always been carrying the team, so he's not the reliable. So basically, it'd probably be Kevin Durant with his Achilles by himself. So if they get in the finals now, the Lakers are gonna blow them out, bruh. The Lakers will blow them. They're lucky if they even get one game. Toronto, if they don't get, even if they have Kawhi, right? Even if they have Kawhi, they're gonna struggle against the Lakers, bro. Because the Lakers are putting some pieces together. So, and LeBron looks like he's got the organization doing what he wanted. It's a shame Ty Lue didn't take that deal. Now, well, you know what I'm saying? Ty Lue should have took the deal. What do you think?
I think he did the right thing. Honestly, EJ, like, it would have been a good situation for him as far as being a basketball coach, but financially it didn't make sense. They tried to underball him. He won a champion. He's a champion.
No.
You can't take that away from him.
No. But what I'm trying to say is, I hear that. But what I'm saying, like, you put yourself in a position, yeah, and like you leave when LeBron leave, but you leave him with more rings, bro. That's something. They're not paying you what you deserve, right? But what I'm trying to say is, you and LeBron, not getting paid, but on the next run, you're gonna get that money. Like, because really and truly, he came in the system when another coach had the system before. You know what I'm trying to say to you? So they were setting it up for him, and because they recognize that, let's say he ain't a good coach. Let's be real. How good a coach is he that when LeBron left, what did Cleveland do? How long did he stay there for? So you know what I'm saying? You just be in the coattails of LeBron. He's not really necessarily, he knows how to make LeBron comfortable and put LeBron in situations. So he's a good coach, but the money he was asking for, how real talk, maybe he didn't deserve it. I'm just being real with you, you know? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that standpoint. I mean, you put it in that regard. Like, he's not really like this world-renowned.
He didn't bring the team together, and then if he was a really good coach,
he's not a world-renowned coach, but he still has championship pedigree.
No, but okay,
with the Lakers, what he won as a player.
Well, he wasn't a player, but what the mark of, to me, a good coach is like, okay, LeBron's gone, the next season in, like, take your team to the playoffs. This is what I'm saying. Organize your team. And take
true.
He's never took on that. You know what I'm trying to say? So you on the next guy, but you saying we should pay you so much. But I think the Lakers were giving him what he deserved in terms of everything, because you want to be attacked like me. If they offered me that, I say fuck that. I'm gonna take that. You know, I'm gonna take that because listen, I'm gonna be attached. Because look, Phil Jackson, right? What's Phil Jackson done without fucking Michael Jordan? I know. With Kobe, he done with Kobe.
He won with Kobe and them.
Yeah, Kobe. Yeah. But what has he done? And more likely, what has he done without superstars? Because he don't go nowhere unless there's superstars attached. So he knows how to manage superstar egos, right? So they put him in that. It seems to me that Kyrie's good at that as well. So Kyrie wants that respect. But what I'm trying to say to you, on a 6 run, you're gonna get that. Like, it's all set up. Like, I don't see no one else offering you a job, bruh. I just don't.
Well, you're right, because nobody else has offered him a job. But I like what the Lakers did, though, as far as the coaching staff, because you put Jason Kidd on the coaching staff. I mean, you feature Frank Vogel, but it's really going to be between Lionel Hollins and Jason Kidd is eventually going to take over that team. So I like what they did with that.
And the thing is, look at this, right? So he could have been there, and they got Davis, LeBron, and they would have had Finn. But let's be real, LeBron would have been cool with Finn, and he would have put them in a position where they could, because players coach. He would have been perfect, but I guess he didn't feel. But now whatever you're doing must be okay for Phil, that you're gonna sit on the sidelines and watch another championship just go by. You go, they didn't give me what I want to give me. I was like, yo, bruh, they gonna give you what they gonna give you. But the thing is that I always look at certain things and I say to myself, well, boy, listen, they just want someone to steady this ship. LeBron's the coach anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like LeBron just wants you there because he likes you. It's like Kobe wanted Brian Shaw. He always wanted Brian Shaw to be the coach, but the Lakers never do that. But at least LeBron has this, in this day and age, LeBron has that much power that he can bring in. I think Tyronn Lue missed that. I understand he wanted to bring his team in, but to be fair, you don't need to be coaching these dudes, bro. Like these dudes know how to play already. You just need to just be in there, and you're at home as well. This is your organization where you won a championship with Shaq and the rest of them dudes. But I think there's a certain amount of disrespect there. But at the same time, I think he should have took it. But forget him now. It doesn't matter, brother. I'm not even worried about the coaching staff now. I'm just saying, how much percentage you reckon Kawhi's gonna go there?
I think it's really high now because, like I said, I think he was sitting back waiting on what Durant did, and then that was gonna dictate what he did. And I really think the Lakers. I just look at patterns. Like the pattern, the regular season, going into the season, the regular season, the playoff, the finals. The pattern was the Clippers, and then the Toronto Raptors started gaining momentum. The furthest they got in the playoffs, the further they got, they started to gather more momentum as far as him standing. And then once the season is over, a couple of weeks after the finals, the Lakers just appear out of nowhere. And Kawhi Leonard was kind of saying he didn't want to go to the Lakers. Like, he was quietly saying that, like, throughout the season. But his uncle was his advisor and everything like that. So his uncle was putting it out there. And then all of a sudden, the Lakers just appear out of nowhere. He's meeting with them and everything. Where did that come from? So to me, I think he was sitting back waiting for Durant. Durant made his move, and now he's going to make his move. And Kyrie Irving going over to Brooklyn just really swayed the difference because Anthony Davis is a really good player. So now if Kawhi wants to win championships, he's going to have to go there because if you look at the other two teams that on his list, Toronto and the Clippers, they don't have what the Lakers have. The Lakers have two nuclear weapons in LeBron James and Anthony Davis. If he goes over to the Clippers, it's just going to be him. He has Lou Williams, who's pretty good. He has Montrezl Harrell. Like, they have some really good pieces, Danilo Gallinari. Like, they got some really good pieces, but that's not going to beat. If they do get past the Lakers somehow, that's not going to beat Brooklyn. It's just not. And if he stays in Toronto, Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry, Serge Ibaka, Marc Gasol, they are really good players. But with him, that's not going to be enough to beat what Brooklyn has if Durant comes back full healthy. So in order for him to win more championships, he's going to have to go over there. I mean, this guy led a whole team to the finals. He was the only superstar on this Toronto team. So to me, his legacy doesn't take a damage because he led a team. He showed that he can literally do it by himself with no other superstar. So he's proved that already. And he won that finals MVP when he was with the Spurs. So the guy, he's already won at a high level to where you can't be like, oh, he ran over to LeBron and Anthony Davis to win more championships. You can't say that about him because he's already proven. So it'll just add to his legacy. Like, he's getting more championships, and they're building this powerhouse team in L.A. again, and it's where he's from. He's from L.A., so I think they became the front runners with Durant's move. Honestly, yeah. I would say 75% chance that he goes to the Lakers. Yeah. I would be shocked if he stayed in Toronto or went to the Clippers. I would be fucking shocked.
Yeah, because the thing is, if you look at when he was in San Antonio, he had DeMarcus Aldridge, and him and Aldridge was supposed to be the future, but they messed it up by trying to make him come back from the injury. Where the Lakers, people realize now that, oh, we need to be quiet. Like, I had that Michelle Beadle going in on Kawhi about he's a diva, this, that, the other. All them people, they look like fools. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you know you have no idea what an athlete goes through. Fight playing when you're injured to get criticism, to make other people feel good about yourself. Yo, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, sit down, get yourself healthy, and come back. You yo, this generation, to be fair, they making the old generation look like idiots. This whole thing about you need to be tough, you know what I'm saying? You need to play through concussions, you're weak. You know what I'm saying? Like, they say all these things, they have no idea. Like, calling Kevin Durant weak because he went to think, okay, yeah, I agree, right? He couldn't beat them. He's like, yo, but he knew at this point, he didn't want to be like, he saw, I didn't want to be like Kevin Durant. I didn't want to be like Charles Barkley, sitting there with no rings when I'm in my prime. I mean, I want to get mine, get my ring, and then I can do my thing later. Try and get one by myself, right? But I'm not going to be sitting here and you're going to dress me like Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony now, they're saying he should sign for the Lakers. I think, yeah, that's a good move, right? Because, you know, with LeBron, I hope he does go to the Lakers. What do you think Carmelo Anthony go to the Lakers? What do you think?
Carmelo Anthony is the biggest failure in the history of the NBA.
Oh
with all
my
the
gosh,
I don't think it means absolutely nothing. Him going to the Lakers means absolutely nothing to me. Like, that's not going to do anything for him. Like,
you don't think he could?
I don't even think he's going to last long there. I don't think he's going to last.
One
I think
season.
if they do sign him and he starts the regular season, if he starts playing or whatever, I think he'll be traded by or released at the break. Probably not even.
Why,
like,
man?
I don't think he has.
Real? I think he's good enough to play with LeBron, man.
He should have been the piece Miami had. He should have been Chris Bosh, but he wanted to take the money and his career is what it is. Like, I don't think he's gonna make the Hall of Fame, but it's not gonna be first ballot. Like, it's gonna take him a long time to get into the Hall of Fame because he underachieved so much in his career.
Yeah, he chased
all because of money and greed.
He went to New York. New York. Well, it didn't work out with him and Stoudemire, but you know what I'm saying. But had a good
because he came there and killed the chemistry, just like he killed Jeremy Lin's chemistry when he had the whole Linsanity movement going on. Like, Jeremy Lin was playing really good, and he and Stoudemire was playing really good. I remember Stoudemire was considered an MVP candidate the year before Melo came there, and Melo came there and ruined everything. Like, I don't see how people like Carmelo Anthony. Like, I've had arguments with people before about this dude. Like, what has he done? He doesn't have any playoff moments, like anything. Like, the guy hasn't done anything, man. All he did was take all of New York's money and shoot long 2-point shots. That's all he's done his whole career. Like, I never liked Carmelo Anthony. I liked him better in college when he was in Syracuse, when he won a national championship. But as far as his NBA career, he hasn't done anything. Like,
he brought Denver two into the playoffs, like straight away in his
rookie season. But they had a really good team though. That team had Marcus Camby and all them dudes. Like, they had a really good team. Like,
but they never go to the playoffs the year before though. They never go to the playoffs the year before though.
Yeah, but they had really good players though, like guys like Miller and
they weren't. Yeah, but Melo, but I agree with you. But they didn't get into the playoffs until Melo got there. So Melo had the capability to get thing, and when he was at New York used to get into the playoffs every now and again. So I mean, he has the ability.
I liked him better when he was in Denver, but to me, he always been an underachiever, man, because his offense is really good when he rolling, but he takes too many bad shots. Like, he used to take a lot of long 2-point shots. Like, the adage in the NBA is that's the worst shot to take in the NBA is a long 2-point shot. You might as well just take a 3. Okay. It's basically, you know what I mean?
He's still career. I don't. Maybe he might be. He kills the rebound a bit. He can post a bit. He can shoot a bit. I don't think he can get up the floor too much though. I don't know. The Lakers I think Lakers could take him, but. You know, we'll see. Maybe they take a younger guy to work with LeBron who can run the floor.
He said he's going to take the veterans minimum, so he's going to have to take that. If he take that and sign with them, like, I mean, he can run with the second unit. He'll definitely have to come off the bench. And if he can average between 15 and 18 points for you, then that's serviceable. Like, like somebody made a really good point on one of those sports shows where they talked about him not taking care of his body and
I saw that one. That was Stephen A. Smith said that. Yeah, I saw that one.
Or whichever one of them said that. I thought that was a really good point because you always hear about LeBron. Even when he was in Cleveland, we would see him running downtown a lot and jogging and, like, riding his bike and, like, just getting out doing cardio and, like, just doing work. Like, Carmelo Anthony was never like that. He used to always kick it and party in the off season and get drunk and smoke weed and do all that dumb stuff. Like, and it's a reflection of how his career is. Like, you're right, he does have really good offensive moves.
Yes.
Like, he was one of the most skilled players I've ever seen offensively, but the guy just underachieved, man. Like, he could have been way better than what he is. Like, could have been way better.
Yeah, for me, his defense is where he's going on now. He don't play no defense, and to be fair,
his commitment to his attention to detail is off too, man. Down the stretch of games, like he takes terrible shots. He doesn't know how to close out games correctly. People think hitting a shot is clutch. Like there's more to it than just hitting the basket. Like you got to know what the defense is doing. Where could your shot come from? How much time is on the clock? Like it's a whole bunch of stuff that play into being clutch. It ain't just hitting a fucking lucky jumper and that's it. It's getting a steal. It's getting a block at the end of the game. Like it's making a play for a teammate to get a better shot than you had. Like it's a whole bunch of shit that go into it. Yeah. And Carmelo Anthony just never understood that part of basketball to me. Like he never understood it, and he always get in players' way. When it would be nice where Stoudemire was doing really well, and Carmelo Anthony, instead of trying to feed him and keep him cooking, he'd try to cook with him. Like it's like that Kobe shit. Like he'd start taking shots and just fuck up the offense. And Carmelo Anthony is a lot like that. Like that's why to me he had better years in Denver, but his New York Carmelo Anthony was terrible. I didn't like that Carmelo at all. He was in the way of the offense. He really didn't make players better. Like he didn't make plays. Like I just didn't care for that Melo. Like if he signed with the Lakers with woohoo, but I don't see how that's gonna change anything for them. They'd be better off keeping Lance Stevenson.
Because remember that draft, right? They all came in: Bosh, Wade, Melo, LeBron. LeBron came in number 1. Darko Milicic number 2. Like Detroit should have took Melo, but you know what I'm saying. I can see why they had Tayshaun Prince, right? But they could have changed the Bosh. They should have took Bosh instead of Darko Milicic. Darko Milicic should, see, they keep, you know what I'm saying. That is one of the biggest busts ever, right? One of the biggest busts ever. But they'll talk about other players, right? And I was like, and then so Darko Milicic number 2 and the Melo number 3. You know what I'm saying? Like he went to Denver, but like to me, but he was popping in Denver. But he said, yeah, but I want to come home in New York. Like it never works home for home time guys. But maybe for Kawhi with LeBron, maybe that shit works, man. I hope them two get along though, because you know what I'm saying.
Oh, it definitely works. I mean, they get along. I mean, they worked out last season together.
Yeah, they planned this shit, man. That means they planned.
LeBron helped him get back to form. Like he helped him because remember he only played in like 9 games in San Antonio last year.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they text each other all the time. They friends, bro. Like all of these dudes be friends. LeBron and Durant is friends.
Okay.
Like they all friends and shit. Like you know what I'm saying? Like Durant just. It's funny, like, because I watch a lot of old games. Like LeBron used to bust Durant's ass. Like when LeBron was in Miami, he used to bust Durant's ass.
Yeah.
Durant remember all that shit. So Durant at any given close go tax LeBron every chance he gets.
Yeah.
Because now he know LeBron is older now. This would be year 17 for LeBron James. So he's not the same player.
Yeah.
Like so. He's trying to pay LeBron back from all them years. LeBron to bust his ass.
Yeah,
well, you can't blame him though.
Well, I tell you what, man. He got Achilles now, so he gonna be. I think they're about even now. You know, the Achilles took a couple of years of thingy. That I heard DeMarcus Cousins is going to New York. I was like, yo, man, shit. Who cares? They don't make them.
Yeah, I don't really see why he will go there. I mean. Are they paying him the max?
Nah, I don't know. I think it's a 1-year deal. See how he does.
Oh, well, Golden State must not want him there.
Nah, but everyone's leaving Golden State after that bullshit, man. Like, his chemistry never worked. He didn't work well with them boys, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't blame him because he went there, he thought he'd get a ring. Everyone went there, they thought they can hang on the coattails and win a ring, yeah? But, bro, they didn't expect Toronto to come like that, bro. Like Kawhi going to Toronto, like they would have got a championship if they didn't see Toronto. If Kawhi stayed in the West, that championship was theirs. Like the East would have got smashed, bro. Golden State would have won a championship, man. Kawhi busted them up. Kawhi busted that whole thing up, bro. Busted that. He busted that franchise literally. All their legs popping out, cogs popping out. Everyone got old and shit. You know what I'm saying? They got old real quick. So I think I'm gonna put it right here. The Lakers. If they get Kawhi 2 championships at least more for LeBron, so that what would that put him on? How many chips he's got now?
He's got 3, so that'll put him at 5. He'll be tied with Kobe.
Oh, well, you know what? He could push for 1 more after that and try and get 6 with LeBron. If he gets 6 compared to now, it'd be better than if he gets 6 now. What do you think? That would compare with Michael. That would be some sick shit, right?
Well, he would have to be responsible. If he was to get 3 more, he would have to be responsible for at least 2 of them. He would have to be the finals MVP and all that shit, because it's not the same how if you look at, let's take somebody like Kareem, for example. Kareem was still winning championships outside of his prime because Magic and those guys was carrying him, but he made his name already, so it was acceptable. People never bring it up like, oh, well, he was only winning championships because of Magic. But
they you know what? They never used to talk like that back in the days. By the way, they never used.
No, they never talked like that. People only talk like that because of Skip Bayless. Like, he brought in that narrative like that. That's why people start doing all this nonsense that they doing now as far as talking basketball. Like, but to me, for LeBron James, his career is already solidified. To me, I mean, if he win more championships, that add on to the legacy, but to me, he already solidified his legacy. Like, everybody talked a lot of trash about him going to Miami and everything like that, but people don't understand. Boston had did that, so Boston was the super team in the NBA.
Yeah,
and the pressure to win championships in the social media area is like, it's crazy, because all of these players like LeBron, like Durant, they feel like they got to go join other real big players in order to win now, because they don't, like you mentioned earlier, they don't want to go down as Charles Barkley.
Because they put that, they put that stuff out there. They put that stuff out there to make
the pressure to win.
Yeah, it's
as
everything.
Far as legacy, because what these guys understand is 20 years from now, people not gonna talk about Kevin Durant going to the superpower team and all of that. It's going to be, he won a championship with the Golden State Warriors, and then he went to Brooklyn, and if he win over here, he won championships in Brooklyn.
That's right.
So, like, it's not, the narrative's not going to be the same as it is now. We're in real time, so we're going to talk about the current events as they happen.
Yeah.
But in the future, they're not going to talk about all this stuff. Like, it's not going to matter. So LeBron James winning more championships, it just adds to his legacy to other people. But to me, once he beat Golden State, coming back the way he did against them and beating them, because people, you got to understand, Kyrie Irving is a terrific player. Don't get me wrong. But Kyrie Irving is not a franchise-changing player. You just saw that when he went to Boston. He didn't change that franchise. Like, he was supposed to literally change that. They got a terrific coach. They had a really good team who was one quarter away from getting to the NBA Finals without him. You got an organization that's ran smooth from the top to the bottom. It's a storied franchise with like 17 championships. So you had everything in your lap, and you couldn't even do that. You couldn't even do nothing with it.
Yeah.
So you need another player. He needed another player. And when he was with LeBron, he had never reached the playoffs before. So LeBron put you in the finals every year and put you in the spotlight and everything like that. So he wasn't to me a superstar yet. He's probably, a lot of people consider him one now. But
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think so people pay a lot of money for him, but his durability in every team he's been, he practically, like, when's the last time he played a fucking full season? Like, and the playoffs.
Well, last year he was pretty healthy. He was the healthiest he had been in his career, because with us, his first 3 years without LeBron, he was injured mostly all those years. And then LeBron came back, and of course he missed the whole finals, and he had missed a lot of time that next season, and then
that should have been a championship. That should have been a championship right there the first time. Yeah, that should be another one. That's what I'm saying.
So he missed a lot of time, but we both agree that he's not a superstar, but a lot of people could put him up in that ilk because of the shot that he made. But Kyrie Irving can't lead a team to the finals by himself like LeBron can. So once LeBron won that championship and did what he did, his career was solidified already, because he had dealt with nobody in the history of the league had ever done before. He took a team with barely any players that went to the playoffs. You got to remember, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, Tristan Thompson, like all of these guys he had in the finals and won a championship with prior didn't have any playoff experience. As good as Kevin Love was in Minnesota, he had never went to the playoffs. His best record was like a 500 record. So he took a lot of inexperienced guys to the championship. I mean, these guys were young. They were 24, 25 years old. Like, Kyrie Irving was like 23, 24 years old when the Cavs won that championship. So he took a bunch of kids to the finals and won with them, and a bunch of delinquents like J.R. Smith and Amon Jumpert and all these dudes.
Well, I heard JR's coming. I heard JR's coming, like, you know what I'm saying? That's LeBron's dude. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, why LeBron makes you love? Like, why you bring JR over, man? I won't leave JR where he is, but I heard he gonna bring JR over. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought Kyrie would have been, people was talking about Kyrie and LeBron, but LeBron probably thought, man, I don't want to play with that you no more, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
No, that was a real possibility he was going to go there.
That's what I thought.
I think he was going to go there. I think midway through the season was when him and Kevin Durant made the decision to play with each other. Like, they was probably like, all right, let's go do this in Brooklyn. I thought they should have went to the Knicks. The Knicks, unfortunately, if getting DeMarcus Cousins is the biggest thing that you've done in free agency, that was a failure. Okay, I understand you got the number 3 pick and you got RJ and everything. That's fine, but that's not enough to do anything in the East, like, because it just got stronger with the Brooklyn Nets emerging as the top team. And even if Kawhi Leonard leaves, let's say if he left Toronto's still going to make the playoffs. They're still going to have a formidable team because Pascal Siakam emerged as a really good player. I think he's going to ride that momentum and be a way better player. He'll fuck around and be a borderline all-star this year, if not all-star, either a reserve or something. So they're still going to be formidable. If Jimmy Butler leaves Philly's still going to make the playoffs because you still got a really good, solid 3 players if they was to hold on to Tobias Harris. Milwaukee's still there with Giannis and all of those guys. Like, it's a lot of teams in the Eastern Conference now. Like, that's emerging, man, and I don't know, man. The Knicks, if they do make the playoffs, it'll be like an 8 seed, and which I don't think that they'll even do. So I don't know, man. The Knicks, unfortunately, they struck out again. They cleared all of that cap space by trading Porzingis.
No one wants to go there, man, because of the guy who owns it. What's his name? I don't know what his name is. The guy who owns
Dolan.
No one's fucking with Dolan, bro. No one's fucking with Dolan. Since he's been there, players like, and the thing is, just really in this era, the players actually talking to us. Nah, I ain't going to New York. I don't like the way they treated Marbury. I don't like the way they treated Nate Robinson. You know what I'm saying? I started like, yo, I don't like the way they treated Melo. I don't like what they doing. I don't care. Like, but the Lakers, for some reason, it's like, yeah, the Lakers lucky, yeah, with LeBron and thing have decided to say, yo, you know what? We gonna go there. Like, Anthony Davis said, yo, look, I'm gonna go there. And what LeBron's saying, he's basically saying he's gonna facilitate these young guys. And then when he bows out, these guys are going to be the future of Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying? Kawhi loves Los Angeles. That's his home shit. So I think it works out well. You know, it seems like a good story. And I think, you know what I'm saying, Kawhi can do some damage down there. He can go down as an all-time great player in San Antonio. They had a good gem, but they treat, and that's like anyone. Like, you have a good girlfriend or anyone you have and you treat them wrong, or a good friend and they disrespect you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when they leave, yeah, they think, oh, they can do better. But you know, as it works. You know what I'm saying? Or some people shine. LeBron's one of them guys. Like, wherever LeBron goes, championships seem like they're following him right now, man. Like, you know we're going to get to the finals. People were down him. They knew this year wouldn't get. He just rested up and said, all right, whatever, man. I'm going to kick back, get some rest, keep myself in shape, and we're going to make a run at it next season. You know what I'm saying? And another thing as well, what do you think about him giving up his number 23 and giving it to Davis? What's your take on that? You know what I mean?
Honestly, I don't think LeBron cares because it's Jordan's number. Like, he was just paying homage to Jordan. Like, it was never his to, like, say I'm the only one that can wear it, and it was never his number. So I don't think him giving it up really don't mean anything. Like, I mean, it is what it is. Like, he's, like you just mentioned, like, he's catering to Anthony Davis because he knows he's going to be the future of the franchise. LeBron only has like another solid year and maybe 2, and like at least a top 10 player in the league level. So he understands, like, this is going to be his team. So why have him switch back to number 23 once I leave? Like, he might as well just keep it the whole time. Like, and I'm about to leave, so I just give it to him. And I mean, the Lakers. I promise you, man. I got a feeling they're going to get Kawhi now, just based off the Kevin Durant move. Like, because I don't see nowhere else. I don't see nowhere else Kawhi can go as far as the teams that he listed that can beat Brooklyn or even the Lakers. I don't see it. I mean, maybe he'll have a better chance beating the Lakers, but I think with the Lakers, Kyle Kuzma he's being left out in all of this. People don't realize how good that dude's going to be. Like, he's going to be really good. Like, and to me, he can be that third superstar that they need. Not saying that he's going to emerge as a superstar this year, but he'll play like one. with the offense that they're going to have, like, and they're going to implement. Like, I like the Lionel Hollins and Jason Kidd putting those guys on the staff, and a lot of the sets that Frank Vogel ran when he was in Indiana, when he had Roy Hibbert and Paul George and Danny Granger and George Hill and David West. Like, they had a really solid team. Like, so he knows how to coach offense. Like, they got a really good coaching staff. That's underrated. Like, that coaching staff is really good, man. You got potentially you got three fucking coaches on one team, basically. 3 head coaches. And you got LeBron James, which is another head coach. And then you got Anthony Davis, who is the most skilled big man in the league. So, to me, people always say that, oh, he's going to relegate a lot of his offense to LeBron, and he's going to kind of turn it to like what Chris Bosh did in Miami or what Kevin Love did in Cleveland. But I totally disagree with that. He's a great player. He's not going to his offense and the way he plays is not going to diminish playing alongside LeBron being a big man. Like he's going to actually flourish more because him and LeBron in the pick and roll is going to be unstoppable. Like, who's going to stop that alone? Like, you just look at that alone because he can shoot coming off pick and rolls and he can get to the basket and finish over anybody. Like, LeBron never had that before. This is the most dominant big man he's had. Not to compare it to Kobe and Shaq, but this would be his Shaq.
LeBron and Davis, yeah.
It would be his Shaq.
Kevin Love. I never used to rate Kevin Love, no. I never used to rate him.
I never rated him either because he would put up all those Moses Malone type stats and shit and never get to the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, Kevin, Anthony Davis got them into the playoffs. Anthony Davis took them into the playoffs, man.
And this is what people don't understand when you bring up Anthony Davis.
Yeah,
he was playing against. He was always an 8th seed or a 7th seed, so he was always playing against Golden State in the first round, who had this way better team than he had. So he used to lose in the first round, because you young and you got a young team going up against this powerhouse team who was one of the best teams in the history of the NBA. Of course, you're gonna lose. So to me, I think his career is very underrated. Yeah, like if they was going against other teams, like you saw what happened with DeMarcus Cousins got hurt and they swept the fucking Portland Trailblazers last year. You know what I'm saying? Like, who was a really good team last year. So. I mean, his playoff career is underrated because of his placement in the playoffs and who they played first round. So now that he going to a team that he got these games don't matter now, and the playoffs really matter for real. Like, y'all title contenders. And now that Durant moved back out of the West is really wide open. Like, it was wide open once he got hurt, but now that it's official that he's out of the Western Conference. The West is, like, ridiculously wide open. Like I said, Golden State will still be a formidable team, but I don't think they'll be championship contenders because it's not like the Golden State of old. Their team was built off strength and numbers. They don't have the numbers anymore. You gutted your whole bench getting Kevin Durant. Now that he's gone, you're down to Draymond, Klay Thompson, and Curry again. So it's back to that. Now you got to rebuild around that nucleus of players that you drafted all over again. And one of them is going to be hurt, and who's to say that he comes back looking like the same Klay Thompson? So, to me, Golden State will be up there, but I wouldn't put them as title contenders. Houston Rockets, they just can't buy a bucket when it matters.
Jimmy Butler, they're going to get Jimmy Butler, but I don't think Jimmy Butler's going to take them because I think...
Yeah, but those are two shorter guys, though. Is Jimmy Butler and James Harden going to be enough to stop LeBron James and Anthony Davis and potentially Kawhi Leonard? Or is it, let's just say if they get past the Lakers somehow due to injuries to the Lakers, or is that enough to get past? Is that enough to get past Damian Lillard and McCollum and Nurkic in Portland, or is it enough to get past Brooklyn if they do get to the finals with Kevin Durant, who is way tougher than anybody on that team, and Kyrie Irving? Like, I don't think so. So Jimmy Butler doesn't really swing it to me. Like, he's not a franchise-changing player. He's a good additional piece, but I don't think he's like a Kawhi Leonard or a LeBron or anything. Like, he's not even in that stratosphere. Like, he's like a second-level player, like a Klay Thompson, him, Embiid. Like, all of these guys are on the same playing field to me. Like, Embiid got the potential to be on LeBron and that type of level if he could stay healthy and learn from his mistakes. Like, he started crying in these playoffs, which means that he actually cared. Like, so now, since we know that you have a passion and you really care about your career, get in the gym this offseason, work on your game, and come out even better next year and be an MVP candidate next year. And then you can be up in that realm with Anthony Davis and these type of guys.
Yeah.
So Philly, to me, is a really good team with Jimmy Butler lead, but it's not enough to win a championship unless they do something else in free agency. But Milwaukee, really good team. Giannis has the same situation as Embiid. Hopefully he learned from what went wrong in these Eastern Conference Finals, and he played through it and get better. Work in the offseason. He won the MVP. Hopefully that don't go to his head, and he just become lazy. Like, I don't think he that type of player. He hasn't displayed that type of character. So I think Giannis is just going to get a lot better. Like, and I've been telling people about Giannis for a really long time, man, and it's good to see that he's starting to emerge as what I thought he would be. Like, he's going to get even better than what he is now. Like, he's going to be LeBron-like as far as what he could do in the open court, like facilitating, and what he could do in the half court. He does need to get a better jump shot. Like, once he develops that, Giannis is going to be literally impossible to stop. Like, because he can post up your centers, he can post up your power forwards, he can shoot over your point guards and your shooting guards,
he's
small forwards. Like, he's going to be unstoppable.
Yeah, he a beast, man. What do you think of Kimbo? Kimbo might be getting to play with LeBron down in the Lakers. That's what they're talking. I think if Kimbo comes there...
Nah, Kemba's going to the Celtics. And I keep forgetting about the Celtics. Like, that's another solid squad. So... I mean, even if Kawhi, like I said, if Kawhi stayed in Toronto, he's going to have his hands full still, because these teams, these Bostons, these Milwaukees, these Phillies, like, they're going to be better teams. And then you got Brooklyn, who just came in and just took over the East just like that. Once, if Durant, like I said, this all depends on if Durant come back at 4 straight. Because I'm looking at the rest of the team; they didn't have to give up anything. You still got Allen, who's one of the best, if not the best, interior shot blocker in the NBA. And then you just added DeAndre Jordan, who's another really good offensive rebounder and shot blocker. And he can make plays and rise above the rim off the pick and rolls. And then you got Dinwiddie, who's a really good scoring option for them. You just put Kyrie and Kevin Durant together, the 2 best closers in the NBA. So, yeah, Brooklyn's the best team in the Eastern Conference. If Durant can stay healthy, I think that's obvious. But so it's a lot of really good teams. So if I'm Kawhi Leonard and I want to win more championships, my only option is the Lakers or the fucking Golden State Warriors, which I don't think he's going to do. But those are the only 2 options that I have if I want to win a championship, because there's no other free agent that could go to the Clippers with him and make them a viable contender over the Lakers or over Brooklyn. Like, I don't see it.
Yeah. So
he's going to have to go to the Lakers. So that's why I give him a 75% chance to land him now, because of what Durant just did.
Yeah.
Durant is the cream of the crop of the NBA now. Like, to me, he's up there. Like, so he swings the pendulum on what the NBA is going to be. So now that Kawhi sees this, he's going to go try to match up with what they can do. So he's going to go to the Lakers. And they still got JaVale McGee, who's really good. And so they got matchups now. You got Anthony Davis, and just look at the matchups. Let's just say the teams were how they went. Let's say if Kawhi went over to the Lakers and they were going up against Brooklyn in the finals.
Yeah.
So you got Kawhi Leonard, who's going to guard Kevin Durant. And that'll be a wash, that matchup, because they both can pretty much be effective against each other. I think Kawhi is a little bit better defensively, so he'll have more moments where he stops or slows down Kevin Durant and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Anthony Davis, like, matching up against Jared Allen or DeAndre Jordan. Then you got McGee, and then you got Kuzma going up against Dinwiddie. Like, so the matchups, it'll be a really, really good series. Like, it'll be a really good series. And then you got to think, Brooklyn is a newer franchise. Yeah, they were the New Jersey Nets, but Brooklyn is considered a new team, as an expansion team. So they don't have any real history there. So Durant and Kyrie Irving can make history in Brooklyn and set the scoring records and win finals for that team and do all that shit. And that could be their franchise for the next, 4 or 5 years, or however long they sign those contracts. So a lot go into it. Like, I think they'll fit well together. I think Kyrie Irving fit better with LeBron, but he can fit equally as good with Kevin Durant, because Durant is a much better shooter than LeBron James is. So I think defensively is where they're going to struggle. That's why they have Jared Allen and they got DeAndre Jordan, because now Durant can play perimeter defense with his long arms and all that shit. He's capable of playing really good defense. So Brooklyn to me is they're the best team in the East, but the East to me is the stronger conference now.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said that to YG earlier on. The East is the better conference, man. We start matching it up now. The East is legitimately the stronger conferences. Yeah, and it's weird though. And the West it ain't weak now because they got Portland. You know what I'm saying? They got Houston.
No, the West is really good too. Like I think if you was to balance it, I think it would be 51-49 each.
It's close. It's
because
close.
the West still got some good teams. You got to think Houston's still there. You got the Lakers now.
Yeah.
The Clippers is still good. Denver, with all the experience they gained in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You got Portland.
Milwaukee.
You got
Milwaukee. Yeah.
You got
not Milwaukee.
Not Milwaukee, but
what's the other team?
Houston. OKC.
Yeah.
Like,
OKC.
You still got a lot of really good teams in the West. So to me now, it's like. I would tip the East because Brooklyn, to me, if the Lakers don't get Kawhi Leonard, I think that Brooklyn Nets can win a championship.
Yeah.
So they will have to get him. So that's why I will say the East to me is a slightly stronger conference because of what Durant just did. So I think Kawhi Leonard goes to the Lakers, then the Lakers will be the stronger conference, having the team that's going to win the championship. But I think it's all going to play out. I think Kawhi Leonard's going to go to the West. I think he's going to go to the Lakers.
I can see why Kevin Durant went to the Barclays because a lot of fights happen in the Barclays and Brooklyn is close to like the street ball and stuff, and I think they want to be the faces of Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? They offer nice money. They got thing, and I think I can see why they went to Brooklyn. You know, I can see why they beat Brooklyn because it's a new franchise and they want to be a new champion, try and get a new championship down there. I think it's good for the league. I actually think it's good for the league, and you know what I'm saying? They over there, they're starting to talk about because the Lakers look like they were running it. But when Kawhi goes to the Lakers, you know what I'm saying? It's a popping, man. You know, it's going to be popping. It's a funny thing because I don't think Cleveland will ever see Cleveland after like 10 years. They're gonna appreciate what LeBron did, man, because
exactly, man. Like that's what I said when you asked how long will it last, dude. This championship is gonna last forever because we may not ever see it again. Like LeBron James is a once in a generation type player.
Yeah.
And the Cavs, the basketball guys, just shined down on Cleveland and allowed us to get him.
The owner's a prick, man. The owner's a prick, man. But the owner's he's a fucking billionaire, got money though, but he couldn't. You know, to be fair, like Cleveland got. I look at Cleveland now when I look at it in retrospect. I'm sure LeBron, like 10 years looking back at it when after his career's over, said we could have got more, man. You know what I'm saying? Like we could have.
They could have if Durant went over to Golden State. They would.
Well, I think they would have got more. I think they would
have at least 3 rings.
But I think they would have got more if they put the pieces around earlier. They was as happy. You know what I'm saying? Happy to get into the finals, but they really weren't pieces. See, Patrick Ewing left the Knicks and said, "Look, you ain't doing shit." And I'm gonna leave in his prime, but you see, loyalty to me don't pay off in the NBA because look at Isaiah Thomas, right? Isaiah Thomas was loose to them. His sister died. He still played, and look how they treated him. So the way they treated Isaiah, everyone was like, "We don't give a fuck about you, bro." And I saw Kawhi saw that as well. He said, "Yo, look how you treated Isaiah. Look how they treated Isaiah." You know what I'm saying? Everyone saw that shit. You ain't gonna do me like that.
You know who got to be kicking themselves in the ass is the Boston Celtics. They should have traded Kyrie Irving in the mid-season. They should have traded him away and got Anthony Davis, and then did sort of what Toronto did to see if they could win a championship like that because they had a really good team.
Oh
like
I got you. Yeah, that would have been good. Yeah, that would have. They did. Yeah, you know what?
Because now you didn't get anything but Kemba Walker. Like Kemba Walker's a really good player, but he's not going to change the fortunes of Boston. Like he's not going to be They'll be better than what they were last year with Kyrie Irving, and because I think Gordon Hayward's going to be a lot better, and I think that Kemba Walker, he'll embrace being in Boston more than Kyrie did. Kyrie Irving didn't want to be there; that wasn't one of the teams on his list, so he didn't want it to work there. Like Kyrie Irving's a real diva, man. Like he a diva for real, man. So we'll see how him and Kevin Durant get along in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Because that team is pretty young for the most part.
Yeah. Is Russell still there? Is Russell still there?
Who? Is who?
Russell.
Nah, D'Angelo Russell's going to be an unrestricted free agent. Once Kyrie Irving got there, the Lakers are talking about getting him. But I think they should go after Kawhi Leonard now. Like they need to go after him. And if they can't get Kawhi Leonard, they could get D'Angelo Russell, but they would have to get somebody else too, because you don't have to give him the full $32 million. They could give him like 20 of that, and then use the other 12 to go get somebody like a JJ Redick or Evan Turner, or somebody somebody formidable that could play defense on the perimeter, or like a Danny Green that can shoot. Like, they need shooters. Like, D'Angelo Russell is a really decent shooter, but they need a knockdown shooter, like a Kyle Korver or something. I mean, they talking about J.R. Smith, but fuck him, man. Like, I don't know about that. I don't know about J.R.
Yeah, but
they need to go get somebody else that play defense and can hit threes.
Yeah,
like I would much rather for them to go get Danny Green if Kawhi Leonard leaves, or somebody to that ilk. Like, I don't think J.R. Smith. He missed the whole season last year, and I don't know where his head is. Like, who knows what the hell J.R. out here doing? So I want to go.
Hey, you been watching the Big Three?
Yeah, I watched the game where Arenas hit the game-winning shot.
Yeah,
I watched that game. Like, it's pretty good, man. Like, I was talking to one of my coworkers, man, because they got the Olympics this year is going to have a 3-on-3.
Yeah.
In 2020.
Yeah.
So I think what's going to end up happening is, once people see how successful that is, as far as the United States team is concerned, because I don't know who the United States are going to get to represent. I don't know if they're going to use college players or if they're going to dip into the Big Three and use some of these former NBA players. Like, I don't know what they're going to do. But barring what that is, like, I think Cube's gonna his brand's gonna really merge, especially if it does well. It's gonna do real big. Like, this league's gonna blow up.
Yeah, well, this season they're much better. The league is good, man. They got Sessions over there. They got CJ Thingy. They're really good, man. I was looking at them ball play and everything like that. The rules I like the rules they added. The FIFA rules. I think they're gonna use the FIFA rules for the Olympics, where you inbound.
I don't know who they're going to use, and I don't know how many teams they're going to allow. I got to do some research and look it up. And next time I talk to you, I have a better understanding as far as like what's going on. But I don't know, like who could they use to represent the United States? Like, as far as college, or what realm would you dip into? Like the Big Three? Because I don't think, because you're still going to have a 5-on-5, so you can't use the NBA. So what other format are you going to use? Like,
I don't know, man. We have to see though, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see, because every country gonna bring their Big Three, so we'll see how that plays out. But right now the free agency is popping. The biggest trades are about to be made, but right now, man, I thought I'd give you a take on it, Kyle. But your man LeBron is still popping. He's still got things going on. You know what I'm saying? He's still relevant. Hey, let's talk about Gilbert Arenas' comments. Yeah, he made the other day about, I had enough of the '90s. They make me sick. Said my guys would kill Dennis Rodman and Scottie Pippen, because their height and their weight, they were like they're like guards these days. Goes, they'll be able to shoot over them easy. He said, he said you could put LeBron in the '70s, drop back in the '70s, and he would just dominate. They go, you could put any player from this era, put him back in the '50s, and they'll be opening up all day. What's your take on that shit?
I think he's 100% correct. I think a lot of those players are underrated. I mean, the rules were different. Now, I will say this about the older players. I think that they were more durable. They were more tough. They played 82 games like most of them did. Like, they were more durable. But the talent gap is so significant, it's not even funny. Like, who the hell would you put on Kevin Durant? Like, let's just put together, let's say Durant, LeBron, Steph Curry, Giannis, like all of these freaking nature type players.
I can tell you though. I can tell you a squad will bust them up, bust their ass though. I can tell you. You might not like it, but they bust it.
I don't see it, man, because I don't see none of those 7-footers. Like, all of those great players were mostly big players. Like, you had Jordan and all of those guys, but look at Reggie Miller. Let's say this is a guy who a lot of people put up there.
Yeah.
So Curry hit more threes than he hit in like a half a season than he did in 1 year. Like, so that was they Stephen Curry back then, and he wasn't hitting threes nowhere near at the same clip. And then you got guys like Klay Thompson and that could just light you up. Like, they didn't have shooters like that back then. Like, Reggie Miller was considered the best shooter, and Tim Legler and Steve Kerr and all of these type guys, Dale Curry. Like, all of these guys had the top percentages, and they wasn't hitting threes nowhere near like these dudes.
But they never
like
did.
Damian Lillard and all that.
The game's changed though, because they used it. I don't think when they played, they didn't grow up using the free. The kids grew up like.
Yeah, you're right. The game did change, but I'm just looking at the athletes now. Like, they didn't have a 7-foot dude like Kevin Durant that could dribble like a point guard and that could handle the ball and shoot like a point guard and all. Like, they didn't have that. Like, it would be guys like Patrick Ewing and all of them having to guard him. Like, they wouldn't be able to stay in front of that dude. They would get took off the dribble every single time. Like, they wouldn't be able to guard him. And then you got LeBron. Who you going to put on him? Like, who you going to put on Stephen Curry that's hitting threes from half court with consistency? Like, they didn't have people like that.
I'll be honest with you, bro. I think the 90s guy could match up well. Or even the 80s guys. They could match up well. And even the 70s.
Team-wise, I think that Bulls team would have beat the Golden State Warriors, but that was more of a mental game. But athletically, like, Jordan and those guys don't like. Okay, so let's just
Pippen and Jordan.
Like, let's take Jordan and put him in perspective.
Well, Pippen would have been guarding
Michael
Steph.
Michael Jordan didn't really. He was the best athlete of that era. Do you agree with that?
Well, the best athlete? No, you got no. What era are you talking about? Because you got
like in Jordan's era. Do you feel like he was the best?
He was one of them. Dominic Wilkins was there now, and Sean Kemp.
Yeah, but you had okay, so you had Dominique.
Well, Sean Kemp.
And that's pretty much. I'm talking about like freakishly athletic guys where you was just like, holy shit, like
he
didn't go up against that many of those guys. Like look at this era. You got guys. Like, you literally got the monsters that was on Space Jam. You literally got the dudes running around like that now. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, look at Giannis. Like, take Giannis and put him in perspective. Like, who would guard him? Like, this dude is 7 feet tall that can handle the ball and do all that shit a guard can do it in the open court.
Yeah, but you see the thing is, like I said to you, yeah. You see, I understand about all the technical stuff, but them dudes, yeah, like, they're fucking bullies, man. They're fucking bullies. Like, they ain't letting you do shit. They gon' fucking hit. You see the thing, what they have, the old school dude, they don't like they don't mind, like Charles, but they don't mind fouling you and jumping on your back and making you fight them. That's why I feel like the thing about, I understand about all the technical stuff, right? But they'll throw you to the ground and bully you up. Like, Shaq ain't letting people. That's what they. Shaq will say, "I will throw you to the ground. I ain't letting you do shit." That's how.
Yeah, but that was the guy. That was the way the game was played.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, they won't even get an opportunity to do that because
what are you talking about? Yeah, but are you bringing this was the thing. What he said, yeah, he said go back. So if you're going back, you're playing in their rules. If you're talking about bringing them forward,
well, yeah, like, it depends on what rules.
No, but he said bring them back, and I said, yo.
But let's take those rules. Let's put Durant, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Giannis, Kawhi Leonard.
They're gonna get fucked up. They're all gonna get fucked up.
That era.
They're gonna get fucked up. Like, all of them gonna get. A lot of them gonna get injured.
I don't think so, man. Because if you have guys like look, EJ, just listen to me. If you had guys like Reggie Miller and all of these guys was able to succeed in that era, you mean as skinny as Reggie Miller is, you mean to tell me he would be able to survive in that era, but LeBron James wouldn't?
Yeah,
So he would have been dominating them dudes, just like Dale Curry was Stephen Curry's father. Stephen Curry is way better than his father. His father was able to survive.
Nah, but his father wasn't. His father went. Reggie Miller's a Hall of Famer. So what I'm saying to you is this, yeah.
Yeah, no, his father wasn't a Hall of Famer.
No, that's what I'm saying. So if you're gonna compare, Reggie Miller, right?
His father still had a decent career, though. Would you say that he still had?
He wasn't nowhere near. Reggie Miller is a completely different level. So what I'm trying to say to you is this, right? I'm just
giving you an example. Like, I'm giving you an example of guys that was able to survive.
Well, okay, but you talking about how many times his dad wasn't no prolific starter. His dad was average. His dad used to start on the team, and that he was okay, but he was never the star of his team, bro.
I know that, but I'm saying, like, as far as him being able to play in the NBA, like, he was able to play in the NBA, just like Steve Kerr.
Yeah, Steve
Kerr was able to play in the NBA. Yeah, but he didn't take all that pounding and all that shit. Like,
no, I understand because he understand where he understands.
Like, Curry wouldn't have to go to the rim, dude. He would be pulling up.
Yeah,
what point guard in that era is going to guard that? Like,
but what I'm trying to say to you is this, right? Again, he said, this is what I'm going by, what he said, what Gilbert really said, bring them back. And I'm telling you, if they're playing them back with the handshake rule, they ain't getting off like they're doing. But if you bring them forward into this, if you said bring them forward into this, in this time, they're going to struggle. But I'm talking about, he said going back, that way I disagree. That's what I'm trying to say to you. I just, like, it's too rough. The crowds are rowdier. There's some shit. The guys are too sensitive, bro. You couldn't put Russell Westbrook back there. He was crying every minute. The shit the fucking
he would have been just like John Starks and just like
no, I'm not talking about his playing. I'm not talking about his playing. I'm not talking about his playing now. Because this is what I'm trying to say to you. When you talk about the era, if you just
I'm talking about his attitude. I'm talking about he would have been just like John Starks and all of those.
But what? No. Yeah, but what I'm trying
to say, it would have been better for him. Like,
yeah, but what I'm trying to say is the atmosphere. Now, what I'm trying to say is,
you had a lot of guys like that in that era.
The atmosphere of where they're playing, you had to be more tougher skinned, thicker skinned. And I'm trying to say, this day and age, not the players ain't so, they ain't like that no more, man. And I'm glad the players ain't so fucking thick skinned. They're addressing shit what needs to be addressed. Fans getting out of pocket. And you know what I mean, taking the piss, pushing players. You know what I'm saying? The old school players would probably just go along with that. But that's what I'm trying to say. Them days there is thick as skin. So if you're going back there, you're going to have to take some shit that you ain't taking them. We're like, yo, this shit's too rough. This shit is real rough.
You 100% correct in that. From that aspect, I can't argue that. Like, but I'm going to debate this to the ground. I watched the 90s too. I'm 37, so I remember the 90s like it was yesterday. Like, all of those dudes wasn't tough like y'all making them out to be. Like, they wasn't all like all that. Like, it was, you had some teams that used to be, like, you had individual players like Rick Mahorn and all, but like all of them dudes wasn't tough like that. Like, it was, like, you could still get off. Like, it wasn't, everybody wasn't able to hand check and do all of that shit. Like, y'all act like everybody was doing that. Like, it was only like
we're only going to talk about the elites. So what I'm trying to say to you is that the realism I'm trying to say to you, what Gilbert Arenas saying, he said he hates the 90s. But what I'm trying to say, the realism is that when he play, he can do what he do. But what he ain't do, he gonna get roughed up. They're gonna fling you to the ground. They're gonna do some shit, and you ain't even get. And you know what? You'd be lucky if you get a foul. Let me say no blood. Bro, the referees ain't blowing no fucking whistle either. They be like, yo, you need to play on it.
Defensively, what era? Because if he's talking about the 90s, the 90s wasn't no defensive era. That was an offensive. It was more. I mean,
it depends what era you're talking about. The start of the 90s.
You had the Pacers. You had the Seattle Supersonics.
No, but you got. It depends what you're talking about. Like, you depend about the
early. Like in the 80s was more offensive.
No. The start of the 90s was still fucking rough. After 94, then the things started changing. But
it started changing.
So again, what I'm saying is that when you put guys back, and I look at it and I say to myself, yo, bruh, you really about that? You really about, because the dudes were tough and the shit they had to go through. Like when Grant Hill, like Patrick Ewing, when they dunked on you, they made a statement. You know what I'm saying? They like, yo, if you come near me, I'm gonna dunk on you hard. I'm gonna look at you real, and this and that. They started saying, okay, you can't wave the finger and stuff like that. This is what I'm trying to say. That in this day and age, you can't do certain things, right? Back in the day, the attitude was different, and I'm trying to say to you is like, well, you're going back there. How you are now is gonna be. You're gonna be in that extreme, like Michael Jordan. The shit he went through the Detroit Pistons and what's the other teams over there? Those fucking violent.
Boston used to beat them down.
Detroit, yeah, man. This the fuck that shit. Like yo.
Yeah, was only certain teams though.
But you have to play them because they're the gatekeepers.
Yeah, you would have to play them. You would have had to play those teams. But I'm saying, like, physically. Like, athletically, LeBron James is bigger than all of those dudes.
No, listen, bro. I'm not talking about, listen, I'm just trying to say, but Gilbert Arenas, he was talking about himself and certain players could come back. But what I'm saying is that we could argue all the way, but the bottom line is that he said going back. This is why I disagree. He wasn't coming forward. He said going back. And I said, look, LeBron could play in that era. I wasn't going to say he couldn't. But when you say you're actually killing them, I'm 6'9", I weigh this amount. I said, yo, that's all well and done. That's all your size and that, you agile. But them motherfuckers are filing bitch asses and they don't feel no ways about throwing your ass to the ground, make you lose a teeth, elbow you to make her lose a teeth off a screen. You know what I'm trying to say? That's how dirty they were. They were dirty, and that's why they started cleaning things up. You go back in that era, you'd be lucky if you come out the fucking first season with your teeth in your mouth. That's how they.
Yeah, the 80s was more consistent with that style of play, but the 90s weren't.
Yeah, the 90s. Yeah, you got New York Knicks were about that shit. The New York Knicks were tough.
New York, Indiana. Yeah, they had a couple of teams.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The New York was about.
Most of those teams didn't play like that, though. That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm not saying they were, but no. I'm not saying they were. I'm not saying that. But you can't. But when you go back, you can't pick and choose whichever. I'm trying to say. He said in that era, play anyone, put them he's saying anyone. I said, yo, with you talking that shit, then let's get it on them. I know for a fact that he said Pippen and Rodman. That's what he said specifically, right? So when he said Pippen and Rodman, I was looking at him and saying, really? You really want that from Scottie Pippen? Because yeah, I'll do what I said. Yo, Scottie Pippen is the head of the snake, right? Yeah, his job was out there to take you out, right? So if you're the point guard,
right,
you go out there, you think you can do like Nick Van Exel, you think you can come down, do this, do that, do your shots, and then Scottie Pippen's on you. Then you have to guard Scottie Pippen. Because I'm not disputing they're gonna score. I'm not disputing. I'm talking about you have to guard them. That's what I'm talking about. Because the game is two ways, right? Guard Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, exactly.
How's he gonna guard? Because he don't like to play defense anyway. So how you guarding Scottie Pippen? Who's guarding Michael Jordan?
Which player are you talking about?
I'm talking about where he said he can go back there and play against them. I'm talking about.
Oh, he's not going to be able to guard those guys.
Okay then.
Specifically Michael Jordan. Like Scottie Pippen wasn't like really that offensive. Like I think his highest point per game season was like 21 or 22.
Well, this is the thing. When you're on a team with Michael Jordan, you know what time it is anyway. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm saying at Scottie Pippen's position, he would have had to have guarded LeBron James.
But he's
Kawhi Leonard. He would have got buckets.
Well, no, he's too little. He's about that. But he's the guard. That's what I'm gonna say. Do you understand?
Yeah, no, he's the guard.
Yeah, like he's the guard, the point guards.
Let's just say if you put together a team, all of the best players in this era against all of the best players in that era.
Yeah.
If he made that team, he would have to guard LeBron or KD or Melo or Pierce. He guards the point guards of the teams, bro. He don't do that. He don't guard like his position. No, but if you put together a team like that,
someone else. But he never used to guard. That's what I'm trying to say to you. He don't mind doing it, yeah. But what I'm trying to say to you is that he don't mind doing it. But what he used to do, he guard the point guard. Someone else would step in, and they would guard that position. That's how it used to work. Yeah, Tony Kukoc, yeah, who used to come in. What I'm trying to say, that Bulls team, the way they work, and the thing is, I understand these people are gonna score. The only thing is, have the other team got patience? Because Benza, they used to rotate the ball 6-7 times, and they used to burn the shot clock down. They make you play defense, and they post you up. So everyone can post up. Right? So they're gonna burn the clock down. They're gonna play this type of game. When you're used to running up the floor, jacking shots, coming back down, getting to 100, they're gonna bring that shit right down. And that the style of play of the way the 90s were, it's gonna wear and grind you down, but because you're gonna have to be more patient. You can't get the ball and put up a quick position and try to come back down. And I'm saying it, reiterate, yeah. Like I say, I know they can play in there. Whether they can win and dominate what they think they can do, that's not happening. In the rules, if you bring Chicago Bulls, right? Let's bring them into this day and age. Bro, the Chicago Bulls are in trouble. I'll tell you that right now. They're in trouble with Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green.
No, I think if you put the Bulls in this era, they would do really well. Like I think
they're gonna be in trouble. They're gonna be in trouble. They're gonna be in trouble because the thing is, the style of play is faster, right? The style of play is faster, and every position they can get in foul trouble because Michael.
But they would really want it to be that way because Jordan, those guys had good condition. Like I said, they played in all 82 games. They just played that style of basketball because that was what was in.
Well, you know what the thing. Go ahead.
They would be able to keep up. They would be able to keep up in this era. Man, Jordan would average like 40 fucking points a game in this era because nobody would be able to guard him. Like he would just get to the basket at will. Like,
you know what? You know the reason I worked out why certain teams could play like 82 games and whatever because the style of play was slower. Right, they didn't put up too many threes, and everyone could post up. So when you post up, that saves your legs, a lot of things. The style of play people they barely post up, right? They barely use medium range jump shots, and it's a lot of fast breaks. So what I'm saying is that the game tempo is completely slowed down. You know what I'm saying? So it's a bit of
because the centers dominated the NBA back then. It was a center-driven league.
Luke Longley wasn't the most dominant center, but I would say like when.
But I'm talking about like Patrick Ewing.
They was okay. The thing is when Michael played, the way Michael Jordan in the system they played, they made everyone have to guard everyone, so it was very hard. So it's a system that they implemented. It took the center out the game. That's why they wasn't effective. Like if you see when Patrick and all them played Michael, they were took right out the game, bro. they would took complete because.
Well, no, because the center, the Bulls never had a formidable center. Like you said, they had Luke Longley.
Yeah, but he could pass.
They had to create. They had to create that triangle offense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But he was in there. He was
outside in.
Yeah, he was in there.
Inside out.
He was in there to pass because the triangle offense works on double teams, right? So wherever you double team, there's someone going to be open, right? And that's how they shot. But what I'm saying is that he knew where he was supposed to shoot. He was supposed to score probably 7 or 10 a game, get a couple of rebounds, kick it out. He knew his role, right? But what I'm saying is that in that era was that the triangle offense took the center out the game, therefore it stopped them from playing. Like, I know it was a big man league, but as you knew when it came to the 90s, the center started slow down.
No, the center, the triangle took that center out offensively because they were in that same triangle with the Lakers when they had Shaq, the most dominant center. So it was basically with Jordan. It was more of an outside in approach. Yeah. But with Shaq, it was the inside out. Like Shaq would get the ball and then he would pass out of the double team from the paint. So it was more inside out with Kobe. But if the triangle could work both ways, like it was effective both times because you had Kobe and fucking Shaq, and then you had Jordan and Scotty. So it was able to work both times. But for the most part, like the triangle was ran through the two guard to score all of the points in the center. It was featuring, like the Lakers tried to feature Kobe in some instances, and then they would feature Shaq. So it went both ways. Like Scottie Pippen was never featured in the triangle until Jordan retired. And then he almost went to the finals. Like if it wasn't a bad call against the Knicks, I think Derek Harper was shooting the three, and they called a foul on Scottie Pippen, and he got the 3 free throws, and that's how the Knicks got to the finals. But they would have went to the finals without Jordan. That's how good that Bulls team was. Yeah. And that's how good Scottie Pippen played that year. Like Kukoc, like all of those guys balled out that year. Like they had a really good team.
Well, the thing is, they you know what I mean, when Michael left the first time, they stuck around, and then like, you know what I'm saying, then he came back, and you see when Michael came, it changed. It's like, well, that's what they're trying to say. Kawhi, they say that he's like Michael because wherever team he goes, he's automatically they become a contender. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like you put Kawhi in the teams. See, Kawhi, for me, that dude there, he could play. That dude could play in the 90s easy. He looked like he got the 90s game down. You know what I'm saying? He played like, play like a lot of the guys. He's smooth. He takes his time.
He takes his time, man.
Yeah.
That's the best part of it. Like,
medium range. He played like the 90s, bro.
The spot on the floor he wanted to get to because he polished, man.
Let me show you. Let me show you something, right? So it's the 90s, right? So he talking about Penny Hardaway, right? So guards are like Penny Hardaway, Grant Hill, right? I'll put them in this day and age, right? In their prime, they're doing damage. Like they're doing fucking damage. This is what I'm trying to say. Gilbert Arenas talking.
They would be better than these dudes.
Yeah, bro. Like
I would say Penny Hardaway more than Grant. Well, Grant Hill was
Grant Hill is killing cats, bro. Like Grant Hill. I think Grant Hill is like Giannis. Grant Hill is like Giannis, bro.
But Penny would definitely do better because he would be like he to me was like McGrady before McGrady because he knew how to do everything.
Yeah, but he played.
He knew how to get rebounds and make plays.
Like Gilbert Arenas, is talking. Yeah, so guard Penny then, right? So you got Penny Hardaway, right? So he was going on there. Yeah, he was talking about I could do Gary Payton. That's what he was talking about. I said, all right.
Gary Payton was one of the best defensive guards in the history of the league. So, I mean, you had the 90s had its athletes too. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love the 90s. Like, I grew up on 90s basketball. Like, so I got a bias to the 90s to a degree too. But I'm just looking at the athletes. Like, there's no way Gary Payton to be able to guard Stephen Curry. Like, it's just no way.
I agree with that. But you know what?
He'd be doing Chris Paul. Like, he would do Gary Payton like that. He would just clown him, man. Like, he wouldn't be able to guard him, man.
I don't know, man. In his prime, Gary Payton was
Gary Payton was a physical guard. He was physical and everything. He was a really good guard. But ultimately, I just think what Curry and them possess, like, hand checking and shit ain't gonna matter. Like, Durant gonna walk right down and shoot a 35-foot three radio.
All right. So when Gary Payton come back at him, post him up.
Well, no, Gary Payton to be able to score him too, but I'm just saying, like, as far as Curry not known for his defense and all of that stuff. Yeah, I'm talking about just pure like athleticism and like talent, just pure talent.
Gary Payton gonna post him up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Gary will post him up and he'll play some defense sometimes. Like he'll be like what Patrick Beverly is, but ultimately he won't be able to stop Stephen Curry. Like I'm
not saying he will, but they're gonna have to play defense. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, they like, but Stephen Curry is the exception to the rule. Like all the rest of those guys that they prime, LeBron in his prime, you go back and look at those Miami highlights. LeBron James was phenomenal on defense. He would get all them chase down blocks and all that. Like he was in his Miami days. Those was his best years in his career. Like he better offensively as far as his jumper and stuff nowadays. But that LeBron in Miami was a nightmare. He was able to guard all 5 positions and do it well. Like I remember that series they played against the Spurs. I remember the Spurs, the one they won the title in. The Spurs won the first game. Tony Parker had a buzzer beater. And after that, LeBron James took him out the series. He took Derrick Rose, the MVP, out of the series when they played against the Bulls. Like he was taking point guards, like elite point guards, out of their respective series. And offensively, he was a nightmare. So LeBron was just incredible. You got Kawhi Leonard, who was incredible on both sides of the ball, and just won a championship based off that. And Giannis is another guy. Like he ain't as polished offensively as those two guys are, but he can still average between 25 and 30 points on anybody. And defensively, he a nightmare. You got Anthony Davis, who is a defensive nightmare and an offensive nightmare. Like you're talking about a guy who used to be a point guard in high school. That he's not too far removed from that. So he's able to dribble at 7 feet and get to the rim with ease and with smoothness and technique, and he's able to knock down threes like a guard. So like these athletes in this era is way better. Like I said, like those guys back then, like guys like Patrick Ewing and all, like they would have had to guard these guys. Like they
you see Patrick Ewing in his prime now. You see Patrick Ewing in his prime now. He could run the floor. Dwayne, what's up, Dwayne? You can see Patrick Ewing in his prime, yeah. He was with
but he wasn't keeping up with Kevin Durant. He wasn't keeping up with Kevin Durant, bro. I don't care.
I'll be honest with you. Patrick Ewing was bad in his prime. But, he
was good, EJ. He was a really good player.
He was bad, bro. Patrick was bad, bro.
He wasn't going to keep up with Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant would have torched him.
Yeah, I'm not saying
Kevin Durant. He would have had to have guarded.
I tell you what, Patrick, you're right. Patrick, I agree with you. But what I'm saying is that's a matchup which is suited for Kevin Durant. But what I'm saying to you is this: dudes in this day and age, they're gonna have to play. And when they start playing defense, they're gonna get fouled out. Dwayne, what's your take on Kyrie Irving going to the Nets and Kevin Durant going to the Nets and DeAndre Jordan?
Well, they're going for their shot now. You know what I mean? So I don't really expect that much. I really believe wherever Kyrie was going, that's where KD was going to go anyway. Because I think KD really wanted to go to the Knicks, but he wasn't going to go there on his own. You know what I mean? So especially after now him tearing his ACL. So his Achilles. So you know what I mean? So it's just like I said, free agency is always one. There's always going to be that other person that's going to surprise you. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? Like, everyone's waiting a bit. No one really cares about where really KD's going. Everybody's wondering where Kawhi's going. Because if Kawhi goes to the Lakers, right, then they're going to be dominant. Golden State are going to be Golden State because they're going to use the money that they gave Kevin Durant to fill up the roster with. They're going to be, to be honest, I think the worst thing for the league could have been Kevin Durant leaving Golden State, because then Golden State is just like, I remember the year, when they won their first title, their bench was stacked. You know what I mean? They had such good role players. They had Barbosa. They had, what's this guy's name? Yeah, you know what I mean? So,
they had a really good team.
Their bench was, you see, their bench was actually stacked. So that's what's going to happen. So they're going to be a player, yeah. But the team, I'm kind of thinking like is going to be a sleeper. Is the Dallas Mavericks?
Yeah, I forgot about the Mavericks. I forgot about the Mavericks, man. They got Porzingis and they got Luka Doncic.
Yeah,
and they got another really good player too. In the free agency. Damn, who the hell did they get? Yeah, I forgot about Dallas. That's another team.
Yeah.
See, like I said, EJ, it's even now to me. It's even.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you just mentioned Dallas. You got the Lakers. You still have OKC. You got the Rockets. You got the Golden State Warriors. You got Portland. And Denver is a really sleeper team. That's 7 teams right there that can potentially win a championship because the West is so wide open now once Durant got out of the Golden State. Honestly, with Dwayne, they'll still be a formidable team, but to me, they're not going to be a championship contender. Yeah, they'll be able to retool the roster and go back to how they once were, where it was strength in numbers. but Durant just made them invincible. Now that he's out of the equation, I think it's even because now you look at the Eastern Conference. You got Brooklyn, who emerged at the top if Durant can come back healthy. You got the Sixers. You still got Toronto if Kawhi leaves or he stays. You got Philly. You got Boston, who's about to get Kemba Walker. I mean, the East is stacked too. Milwaukee, like, you still got all of those teams. So, like, it's even now. Like, I don't know who's going to win a championship next year. We can say Boston and the Lakers.
Across the league, to me, it's going to be more even now. But to me, this is just honest to me. If Ben Simmons could shoot, I'm being dead honest. I really believe the Philadelphia 76ers would be the team to beat.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If Jimmy Butler stays there, though, I think he's going to the Rockets.
Yeah, but I can't see that fit working, man.
Me either. I mean, we talked about that earlier. I don't see how it's going to... But I guess if he wants to go there, go ahead. But, yeah, I don't see it. I don't see how it fits either. I think he should stay in Philly. And I think they should re-sign Tobias Harris. They should run it back. And like you said, to me, they need to feature Jimmy Butler as the number one offensive player for them, and then Embiid, and then so on and so forth. Like, I don't think because Embiid he's too hurt all the time, and he's not going to be there for a lot of those games. Butler's going to play in most of the games, so you should feature him in the offense, and then have Embiid as your second option, then Tobias Harris, and that'll give Simmons time to work on his jumper. Because to me, they should play him in the post. If you put him in the post, he can pass. He's one of the best passers in the league. So he's tall enough to see over all the point guards because he's like 6'10", damn near 7 feet tall. So average guards won't be able to guard him in the post, and he could just get buckets that way or pass out of the post and get everybody else involved that way. Like, they playing him wrong. Like, that coach to me, Brett Brown ain't really a good coach.
Yeah, he's terrible, man.
Just like with Giannis. Like, Giannis is a better shooter than Ben Simmons, but he should be more in the post because he can make plays just like Ben Simmons can, and he's taller at his position than most of the players, so he can see over double teams and shit, and he can get the ball out to the shooters that they have. Like, these coaches don't know how to play these players. Like, you let players that can't shoot bring the ball down the majority of the time, and that's never going to work. But I agree with you on Philly. I think if he does develop a jumper, Philly, if you look at it, Philly was the team that challenged Toronto the most out of all of the teams they played in the route to the finals and winning the finals. They challenged them more than Golden State did.
Yeah.
So they should have been there. They should have been the team because top to bottom, well, I ain't gonna say that, but as far as the starting five, they had the best starting five in basketball to me. Just the starting five. So that should have been enough to win a championship. And had they got past Toronto, they probably would have won a championship. Probably would have. Because a lot of those same issues Golden State had with Toronto, Philly was posing those same issues because of their height and athleticism, especially on the perimeter.
And I'm looking at the one thing I'm saying with the Brooklyn Nets is they already had a good solid foundation. They were basically the Clippers of the East. So whichever one KD went to, they were going to be a problem. Now the thing is, they'll be a threat next season, but it won't be a threat because KD's obviously not going to be. He's going to be out for all of next year. Probably could come back by the finals, but they're not going to rush him. You know what I mean? So we already seen what it's like with Kyrie to manage a team on his own. So we're gonna see. But if the Lakers get Kawhi, it's
over with.
It's wraps out here. I'm telling you that.
And I think that's what's going to end up happening because, like I explained to EJ earlier, it was a pattern that he was either going to the Clippers or he was going to stay in Toronto the whole season leading to the finals. And then all of a sudden, the Lakers appear out of nowhere once free agency is almost started. And he's having meetings with them. Like, keep in mind, like they was basically saying he didn't want to go to the Lakers the whole season. I think he's going to make this move based off what Kevin Durant just did. Because if he wants to continue to win championships, being in Toronto is not going to do it against Brooklyn. It's just not. They're not going to beat Toronto. I mean, Brooklyn's going to beat Toronto. They're not going to beat Brooklyn. So if he wants to win another championship, if he goes to the Clippers, the other team on his list. If he goes there, they don't have another superstar to pair with him. They got Montrezl Harrell, they got Lou Williams, they got They got they got a really solid foundation. But that's not enough to me to beat the Lakers or the Houston Rockets, or any of those teams to me. So he's gonna have to go to the Lakers. That's the only other option he has if he wants to continue to win championships. The only way.
Damn. Now, if the thing is, with Kawhi, if they get Kawhi, how are they going to fill the rest of their roster?
With mid-level exception players, they're just going to get a bunch of J.R. Smiths and guys like that. I mean, because you still okay. So you got, let's say if he does go there, Kawhi Leonard. So you'll have a starting lineup: LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, Anthony Davis, Kyle Kuzma, and JaVale McGee. And then you'll have guys like J.R. Rondo if he decides to stay and take the veterans minimum. You'll just have to get veteran minimum guys. A lot of guys will take that because look at the roster and with the cosmic shift with Durant going to the Eastern Conference, that just opened everything up. So you're going to get a bevy of dudes that want to come over to the LA and play now for the veterans minimum. So they'll just get a bunch of guys like that. It just fill out the rest of the roster. You'll only need 4 or 5 more players or something. They'll just get a whole bunch of guys like that. They'll probably pull up a D-League player or some shit like that to stretch minutes for one of those superstars. But, I mean, they're not going to need a whole lot, man, because there's always going to be 2 stars on the floor together at the same time. And then Kyle Kuzma is the wild card in all of this. He's like the forgotten talent that they have. Like, he's going to be really, really good for this team, especially if they can get Kawhi Leonard. I think he's going to be good without him. He could potentially be that third scorer for them that can average. He averaged, 18 last year? So he could get you at least 25 this year with the open offense they're going to have because LeBron and Davis is going to require so much of the attention on defenses that he's going to get wide open looks. All he has to do is knock him down, which he's more than capable of doing. So, to me, you don't need much after that. Like, the Lakers are going to just be routing teams, and Kawhi Leonard's going to be on minutes restriction as well as LeBron James. So, to me, the seeding really doesn't matter to them. They don't care if they're the best team or the 4th team. As long as they get into the playoffs, and that's all they need to do is just get there. They're going to be beating the shit out of teams. Kawhi Leonard is going to shut down your best portion. And then you got paint production out of Anthony Davis. He's going to take away the paint. So, and JaVale McGee as well, the 2 trees. So what could you do to that with that team? That's just like with Brooklyn. You got Jared Allen, who's probably the best shot blocker in the NBA in the paint. And then you just added DeAndre Jordan to go along with that. So now you got 2 rim protectors. And then you got guys like Spencer Dinwiddie. And then you got Durant, who's a capable defender when he wants to play defense. Like, you won't be able to score against that team either. So those are going to be the 2 powerhouse teams. Like all of this depends on Durant's health. If he can come back full strength and look like Kevin Durant, those are the 2 powerhouse teams in the NBA. And then you got a lot of really solid teams that can win if one of those 2 teams get hurt, like Toronto won because of Golden State's injury problems. So the NBA is a much better place now that Durant left because he evened the scales again. Him being in Golden State was just overkill. So now that he's out of there, Golden State is going to go back to how they look, like similar, if, like you said, if they can build around the team and they got a lot of money to do it. What were they going to give him, like $190 million or something to that effect?
Yeah.
So now that you can get a whole bunch of pieces. You can get like 5 really solid players. Like, they could go after Jimmy Butler to play defense for them on the perimeter and hit big shots.
Well, now the one thing I'll say for the Golden State Warriors, what is lucky for them is if now KD didn't sign the max for them, Draymond Green ain't leaving.
Yeah, he can sign the max now.
Yeah,
and Klay Thompson.
Yeah, because he would have left.
Well, yeah, because he wasn't going to get no max there, so he wanted to go get paid somewhere else. Like, a lot of these, I mean, that's all Golden State at this point wants to do because they already have 3 championships. So they're like, okay, we sacrificed a lot. We sacrificed for Klay. We sacrificed for Durant to come. Now it's time for us to get paid. We got the rings. Now it's time for us to get our money. And you can't blame them. I don't blame him and Klay Thompson. They both deserve their money. They 3-time champions. They set a lot of records. Like, they deserve to make their money. Like, it's guys that's making more money than them that hasn't done half the stuff they've done. So I agree with them. They need their money. So, but I don't know, man. The NBA is much more even now. Like, we'll see what Golden State does in free agency. Now that they know that Durant's leaving, now they can pursue some of these few players left. But I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I just think that the Lakers, they got the two best players now in the Western Conference. So I think that they're gonna be in the finals. And if, like I said, if Durant can stay, he can get back healthy, Brooklyn's going to be there because they got a solid core already. And I don't know, because Kyrie's injury prone too. So I don't know, man. They both injury prone, man. So it's tough. It's kind of tough, but if they stay healthy, they definitely the best team in the East. So they got a bunch of other good teams.
Kimber's assigned to. He signed a 4-year deal, 14 mil to extension.
To Boston.
To Boston right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Boston would be a lot better without Kyrie.
Yeah, but I think I don't know, because with me, I don't know why they didn't stick with Terry Rozier.
Yeah, I agree with that, but he's not no Kemba Walker though. I would much rather have Kemba than him.
Yeah, but the thing with Kemba, the one thing I've noticed, especially on the Hornets, he's never had a game to me that I've seen that's been like a really cool in the middle game. Like, he either is really good or he'll have like a game where he's like 2 for 14 or something like that. So
yeah, he had a good stretch where remember that stretch where he scored like 60 and the next night he scored
yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like after that stretch, he went cold.
Yeah, he kind of tailed. But you can't expect for him to average 45 points a game. He was averaging something ridiculous like that. So you don't expect that. But I agree with you. But I think Boston took him more off the principle of him staying healthier than Kyrie. He's a lot more durable. He's easier to get along with in the locker room. Like, Kyrie was a real diva, man. He a real diva, bro. So Kemba Walker is much easier to deal with. He'll embrace Boston more.
But I won't put that 100% on Kyrie, though. I won't put that 100% on Kyrie.
I put it 100% on him, Dwayne. You know why? Because he did the same thing to the Cavs. You can't burn two teams and then you blame everybody else. No,
but the reason why I say that is because I also think what affected the team's morale is them trying to force Gordon Hayward back. Like,
I agree with that to a degree. I think it was both of them.
I give Kyrie 70% of the blame because obviously his leadership was terrible. But Danny Ainge and Brad Stevens, think of it like this: Gordon Hayward breaks his leg, right? Yeah, he breaks his leg. He comes back. Oh, Jaylen Brown, we're not even going to ease him into it. Jaylen Brown, you're back on the bench. Jason Tatum, you're not the number one option anymore. Or you're not the second option anymore. I mean, Jason Tatum played like he was like the fourth option all year.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
He did.
I've never seen a player have such a year he had and then fall back the way he fell back.
I did in the same year. You know who that player was?
Who that?
Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, the Utah?
For Utah. He had, remember, he beat Russell and them the year prior.
Yeah,
he had an ultimate rookie season.
Yeah,
just like Jason Tatum did. And then what happened in that sophomore year? They both took a step back, it seemed like. Now, Donovan Mitchell's reason wasn't like Tatum's reason was because, like you said, they tried to put two stars back into the mix. So yeah, he's going to take a step back. But Donovan Mitchell's situation was, I don't know what the hell was wrong with him last year, but I mean they had that sophomore slump. But I think what's going to end up happening to Boston is that Jason Tatum, I think Gordon Hayward's going to be a lot better this year to me. Now that Kyrie's not in the mix because Kemba's more of a facilitator in the offense. He'll run the system offense better. Kyrie was more of an individual player. Like Kemba is too, but I think he's a better playmaker at point guard for them. So I think they're going to take a step above what they were last year. I don't think that they still have enough to do any real damage, but they'll be one of those Philly, those Torontos if Kawhi leaves, like one of those like type teams. Like, they'll be good, but not enough to win a ring. Yeah. At least not to me.
Do you think the Pelicans make the playoffs?
Absolutely. They got a solid squad, man. People, like, I don't know, man. Like, they got better to me once they got rid of Anthony Davis. As funny as that sounds, because he's a once-in-a-generation type player, but they got better because you got more depth. You got more depth, and then you put Zion in the mix. Zion's not going to be required to do everything because they got the solid foundation around him. So he can come in and groom naturally, like organically. Like, he doesn't have to rush into his career and all of that. Like, he'll be able to develop. He got I like the coach for him too. He'll be able to groom him well. Like, and then he got a guy like Julius Randle on his team who has a lot of similar traits. So he'll be able to like teach him a lot of his moves. Like, he's like a much faster, more athletic version of Julius Randle. Julius Randle's a much better shooter than he is, but I think with the speed and athleticism of Zion, like, they'll run a lot of the same sets they ran for Julius Randle last year, and he'll be able to beat people off the dribble. Like, I don't know what position he's going to play yet. Is it small forward or power forward? I don't know, but they got a really good team, man, because you still got Collison and all of those guys there, and you got what's the other guy's name? They got some really good players, and then you just added Lonzo and you added Brandon Ingram, and like
they just got JJ Redick.
Yeah, right, Redick. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, hell yeah, they're gonna make the damn playoffs. So that's another thing.
The West, when you actually think about it, the West is going to be so stacked next year.
That's 8 teams now. That was our 8th team. I forgot about it. So you keep unlocking all these teams and shit. You unlock Dallas. And now you just unlock the Pelicans. I forgot about them. Yeah, they're going to be.
I think the best thing that the Jazz did was get a new point guard, man.
Yeah, Michael Conley would be an upgrade.
Yeah, so they're going to be another one.
Utah's a borderline. They're like Portland. I mean, not Portland, but
Portland gonna be good this year. Portland gonna contend, but ultimately, bro, like, yo, you ain't beating no Lakers, bro. Like, I'm just saying it the way they.
No, I mean, they're going to be a lot better than they were last year because they're adding Yusuf Nurkic back, and Nurkic was one of the best centers in the league statistically. He was a 20-10 guy.
EJ, you don't know about my Blazers, bro.
Yeah, but it don't matter what they do. The Blazers, it don't matter what the Blazers do. The Blazers ain't winning shit, bro. Like, I mean, they don't win. They need to do.
The Blazers made the Western Conference Finals without they second best player. I put him a little bit above.
Well, it was a different time now, but the West is a bit better now, isn't it? So the Denver's gonna be better. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Golden State, Houston, they might be a bit better. So yeah, Nurkic come back. But you see, Lillard, yeah, the way Lillard play, it's like, yo, Nurkic was there. Like, I don't know, man. We're seeing it. We'll see. But I know Portland gonna be there, but they're not expected to knock off in a 7-game series. You ain't beating the Lakers, bro. Like, it's just not happening.
Well, now we gone more shooting now because we got rid of Evan Turner and we got rid of Aminu. So we kept Rodney Hood and we got Kent Bazemore.
He played good. Like Rodney Hood.
Yeah, Rodney Hood played real good for them. I was hoping.
He better than Cleveland. He should have played like Cleveland, bro. He was on it that game.
Yeah,
bro.
we kept Rodney Hood and we got Kent Bazemore. We swapped Kent Bazemore for what's this dude's name? Evan Turner. So we took defense out and we put shooters in because
the Lakers should go after one of those Aminus or Evan Turners. That's what I was saying earlier. They need to go after one of them type players or Danny Green or because they need.
Danny Green signed back. He signed with the Lakers, bro. Danny Green. He signed back up with the not Lakers with Houston.
Danny Green
waiting on Kawhi.
Danny Green. Yeah, Danny Green. Let me see what. Gerald Green. I'm talking about Gerald Green.
Oh, Gerald Green. Okay, no, I'm talking about Danny Green. Like, he a 3-and-D guy. So like the Lakers need 3-and-D guys.
Yeah, they need a lot of 3-and-D guys.
Oh, Danny Green.
I want the Lakers to get Carmelo Anthony.
Danny Green was at Toronto, right?
Yeah, Toronto Raptors. He came over with Kawhi from the Spurs.
He ain't going nowhere. He stayed in Toronto.
It depends on what Kawhi does. He's going to do what Kawhi does. Kawhi comes here. Danny Green's going to take a veteran's minimum contract and sign with the Lakers too. I guarantee you.
Mm-hmm.
He has a podcast that I watch, and he basically said it. He kind of alluded to it on the Breakfast Club when he did the interview on there. But he's going to go to the Lakers. No doubt about it. So the Lakers are going to be super stacked. Super fucking stacked. Nobody going to beat those guys. Like you said, not in no 7-game series.
Not no 7-game series, man. The thing is, that's what people need to understand. In a 7-game series, yo, bro, you might get one, but you ain't. That's it. Lakers. Wait, I ain't gonna lie to you. See Golden State's record. Don't be surprised now if they put that record on with the Lakers. They be putting on like wipes. They be lucky they win. They lose 2 games in a row the whole season. They might have a record of 7 and whatever, man. I mean 7 or 6 games all season.
Okay, what they're saying is right now apparently the 76ers re-signed Tobias Harris.
Good. That's good.
So people are kind of believing that Kawhi and Jimmy Butler are going to the Clippers.
Or something like that.
Oh, but they played the same. But they both played the same. No, No.
If they go to the Clippers, that takes the Lakers out of the equation. Just know that. If they both go to
Jimmy
the Clippers
Butler?
with Montrezl Harrell and fucking and you got to think they still got Lou Williams and Patrick Beverly. That's a much better team than what the Lakers have.
Yeah, man.
All the Lakers will have is Anthony Davis and LeBron James and Kuzma. That would be it. Like if he goes over there with Jimmy Butler, that's shit.
Jimmy Butler played the same. Jimmy Butler ain't gonna go where Kawhi is. They play the same position. Why would you go where he is?
Yeah, he will, because he'll play the 2 guard and he'll let Kawhi play the small forward.
He's too slow, man. He's too slow.
Because if you look at their team, they can really use a 2 guard. Like they got Patrick Beverly and Lou Williams as the point guards, and then you have Jimmy Butler as the 2 guard with that other guy that they have, and then Kawhi Leonard and all of those guys, and then you'll have fucking Montrezl Harrell and all them as your big.
You know what? If he was going to go to the Clippers, yo, that guy is deep, yo. He on 2 franchises have never had rings, never had championships.
Yeah,
shit.
I think that's what Kawhi Leonard might do if he don't go to the Lakers. Now, if Jimmy Butler re-sign with Philly or he go to Houston, then that take away all the rest of the superstars or stars that Kawhi Leonard can pair itself with. So, it's like I said, if he want to win championship, he's going to have to go over to the Lakers. Because everywhere else is taken up. And I highly doubt the only other team he can go to is Golden State. And I don't think he's going to do that at all. So the Lakers will be his only option to win more championships.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Toronto wouldn't do it.
Yeah, like
not this year.
This
year coming up.
Some good team. I'll tell you what, man. But the thing is, Lakers, like, imagine Brooklyn, bro. Brooklyn, Kyrie gonna play some games. And you know what I'm saying? Like, so Kyrie, and everyone's gonna be waiting for Kevin Durant to see how he comes back. And like, yo, like I said, next season, but they're definitely gonna get TV time, bro. They're gonna have to organize the TV time. Imagine that New York couldn't even draw that. I heard they got Boogie Cousins, but New York couldn't even draw no fucking free agents. That is a fucking disaster for the league.
They
bro.
never could, though. They never could.
That's a disaster. Look at
the best player in that. Who would you say is the best player in that New York franchise's history? Patrick Ewing.
Either him, Melo. Nah, man, you gotta go back, man. You gotta go back into Elder Pearl Monroe and Clyde. What's his Clive?
Clyde Frazier.
Yeah, them guys were bad, man. They got that. What's his name again? Willis Reed. They could play. I watched them play. You know, them dudes could play.
Yeah, but a lot of those guys were drafted by the Knicks, though.
Yeah, I know, but when you ask me, like, them dudes was some board. Them dudes could.
Yeah, I know. The point that I was trying to make is that those players were drafted, most of them. Like, they never had a big free agent go over there.
Yeah.
Just think about it. Look through their
They didn't do it. Them days, they didn't really do that them times. You know, they used locked you. Remember, it used to be locked to your contract for 10 years. That's how I used to do you.
Listen, man, they traded away Kristaps Porzingis, and now they don't have nothing.
No, but he was whack, man. He was whack.
No, Kristaps Porzingis was pretty good. Like, he was better than what they got now.
Nah, he's never been
Lord
good.
have mercy.
He ain't never been that good, bro. I ain't never been. What?
So it says here, the Knicks owner wasn't prepared to offer Kevin Durant a full max contract.
Oh my! What? Oh my! Seriously?
Due to concerns over his recovery from Achilles injury.
This guy's crazy, bro.
Well, they fucking dumb. That's why they got left out in the cold.
That's dumb.
They keep getting left out in the cold.
It says the Knicks are in LA tonight trying to meet with free agent Julius Randle.
You go past Kevin Durant. But you know what? I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
I think Julius Randle should stay with New Orleans.
Yo, but listen, I'll be honest with you. I've seen it. I've seen where guys like New York, like you sign a guy like, what's his name? Amari Stoudemire. Amari Stoudemire had like 3 seasons and that was it, bro. It was all downhill. Yep. So they've seen it. They've seen it before, bro. Like, I mean, you can't be paying.
He was a big free agent, but he wasn't a franchise-changing player. I'm talking about a franchise-changing.
He was doing all right though. Nah, he like you put some shooters around him. They were contending, like they look pretty good. But the thing is, yeah, you're right. He was a big body. But what I'm saying is that I think Dolan has done this before. He said we ain't gonna fall for that shit. Be desperate like that. We're still gonna just take our time and rebuild. But like boy, Kevin Durant, but you see how certain people look how who's an Achilles injury and come back pretty well. I think there's
It was what's that guy? Was it a larger one?
No, it was Dominique Wilkins.
Yeah, Dominique Wilkins.
But he the thing is, with Kevin Durant, I don't know, man. Maybe they did the right thing. Maybe he never plays for the Nets, man. Maybe he never even fucking plays a game, yeah. Maybe the injury's so fucked up that he couldn't even play.
No, he's gonna play. He's gonna get through it. Because you got to think, Boogie is a more recent example, but
yeah,
Boogie
he can't do
is heavier.
Boogie can't do
is a
shit,
spatter.
man.
He's much heavier than Kevin Durant is. So Durant's not putting that much weight on that Achilles. So his game isn't predicated off torque and speed, and that's led to Durant's more of a jump shooter. He played more with finesse.
I tell you what,
I think if anybody can recover from it, would be him.
I tell you what though, Steve Kerr run that organization into the ground, bro. That's what I think.
I don't think it was Steve Kerr. I think it was Mickey Erickson.
No, man, he decided to. No, his decision making, rushing guys back from injury, and then they bring like the thing is they like you said.
Yeah, but that wasn't Steve Kerr though. That was Mickey Erickson and them. That wasn't Steve Kerr's decision.
No,
like, he wasn't the one that was in there. Like he was out on the court. Remember,
but this
all of this shit was with team doctors and stuff. Like in the GM.
But what I'm saying is that some of the stuff he said, but I just feel personally. Like Mark Jackson put the team together, and like when it came down to this guy just came over and just rode the ship, but now it's all falling apart. Everyone's gonna jump off the ship, bro. You know what I'm saying?
It fell apart, EJ, because they added Kevin Durant. If they would have left it alone, remember they substituted their whole bench to get him.
Who did they give up? Who did they give up?
They gave up Leandro Barbosa.
Where he at now? He old now.
He's out. Yeah, but he was still formidable for that team.
Who else they give up?
They gave away Maurice Space.
Yeah, I ain't never heard of him either.
They gave away Augustus Azealis. Like, all of these guys mattered. All of these guys mattered.
Nah.
You had to give away Bogut at the time, who was playing well.
Bogut's still playing there. He was playing.
You gave away Harrison Barnes. All of these guys counted. They counted in that offense. You could say they trash players and all that.
No, I wouldn't say they're trash though. I ain't saying they're trash though. But what I'm trying to say, in the system they were right. But like since then, after they won. Look, it worked. They got 2 chips. Thing is it about this day and age? I think the league is different. They're like, yo, we need to get chips. We don't care what we got to do. What it is. Like I'm not gonna say LeBron started it, but like dudes quickly said, yo. We're not being like Barkley. We're not being like certain people. We're not going to be sitting there old and complaining, I ain't get no ring, and I ain't got no ring. I done this, that, the other, I ain't got no ring. The dudes are like, I want it now. I want it now. I want it here. And the organizations are like, yo, Cleveland got the idea. Cleveland quickly got the idea. They behaved themselves. They said, yo, we lost LeBron James, and look, LeBron straight away got 2 rings, right? And they're like, he actually should have got 3, right? He got 2. He decides to come back, and they did right by LeBron. They said, fuck this shit. We're going to break the bank. Whatever you want, whatever you need, we're going to get.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? So, I think organizations from then are going into their pockets, even if they've got to go past the salary cap. You know what I'm saying? Innit, Dwayne? Like, Portland ain't doing that. Portland ain't doing that, Dwayne. They ain't trying to... The same, Dwayne.
Portland, in all fairness, though, Portland's not like a gigantic market. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Portland is going to struggle to recruit guys. No one's ever going to... Unless they get drafted, no big ever signing is ever going to come to Portland.
They used to have big signing. Back in the day, they had Damon Stoudemire, they had Scottie Pippen, they had what's his name again? That big center.
Because you had guys like Clyde and all them who paved the way for all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So that way it was easier to do that. But now, like you said, they got to build through the draft. I mean, Damian Lillard is a borderline superstar. C.J. McCollum is an all-star, and so is Yusuf Nurkic. So they have a really good foundation of players that they drafted. So if they was to win a championship, people would celebrate them more because they didn't put together a team.
And look at it like this: we only got Nurkic, yeah, because they had to make a decision over Nurkic and Jokic.
Right.
That's the only reason why we got. That's the only reason why we got.
Jokic was incredible. Jokic is incredible, bro.
Yeah. So they had to make a decision over them two. You understand? If you listen around the league, yeah, they say that Damian Lillard's the best leader in the NBA. That's what they say.
I wouldn't go that far.
That's what they say. That's what they say in terms of like chemistry, team bonding, and all that shit. They say that he's the best leader. Now, when LeBron first joined the Lakers last year, or Cleveland joined, when they wanted to trade Kyrie. You know, when Kyrie went to the Celtics, the first year, they wanted to trade. LeBron wanted to trade Kyrie for Lillard.
Yeah, he did. He
wanted to trade for Lillard.
Leonard is just as big in the clutch, and he's more durable than Kyrie Irving is.
See,
they score about the same. Kyrie's more flashier. He has a better handle, but they both are effective. They jumpers are about the same as far as percentages, but. Hell yeah, I remember that. I mean, hell yeah, I wanted them to do that too. And I remember Damian Lillard saying that he would play with LeBron James. He was like, I don't see how, because he was one of the people that was criticizing Kyrie when he left to go to Boston. He was like, how do you leave a situation where you go on to championships every year, go to the finals every year? So he was with him. John Wall was another one that was like shitting on Kyrie. Like, that's what I'm saying. Kyrie a diva. Like, there's a lot of people that don't like him, man. Like, because he's too much of a diva, bro. Like, I mean, now you got Kevin Durant, who is another diva. So you just added two big crybabies on the same fucking team. Like, we'll see if it worked, man. We'll see, because they both injury prone. Like, I don't know, man. Like, we'll see, man. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. Man, he a diva in that, but you know, most superstars are, man. You know what I'm saying? You go get some of that, but. You know, I want to, you know, I'm really interested.
But I ain't gonna lie, the one good move that they made was getting DeAndre Jordan, because them two, they're not really great passers, they're not really great assist guys. So DeAndre Jordan, all he's gonna have to do is just play defense and rebound.
He's gonna be a pick and roll nightmare, because either Kyrie or Kevin Durant can just set pick and rolls. And he's going to get alley-oops every fucking time.
Yo, they should. If Houston was smart, They should have got Jordan, bro. They should have brought that shit down with the what's his name, with Chris Paul. They should have done that shit. Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they at the time they wanted Chris Paul. Like, I mean, if that was the case, they should have stayed with the Clippers. Like, they got Clay Capella. He's pretty good. He's a better around the rim defender than DeAndre Jordan is. But I don't know, man. Like, DeAndre Jordan fit with that team because with him and Jared Allen, you got the paint on lock. Like, that's the fact. Like, they don't have to worry about that. Kyrie Irving's defense or lack thereof is the problem. And I don't know if you can compensate, like, unless they try to go get somebody else. Like, they will have to go get another free agent. Like Patrick Beverley would be perfect for that. He's like a tough-nosed defender that can cover up for Kyrie Irving, because I don't see how, especially this first year, because Joe's not going to be there. So, I don't know, man. The East is pretty stacked, man. So they'll be scrapping to get into the playoffs. It's going to be a dogfight.
Yeah.
For them. It's going to be a dogfight, man. Like, they made the playoffs last year, so you would think that they should make it this year, just upgrading from the point guard positions, basically taking D'Angelo Russell out and replacing him with Kyrie. And you didn't have to give up anything else. Like, he's an unrestricted free agent, so you didn't have to give up anything. So,
see, but what I'm worried about is now, is you got loads of players going off the market slowly. You know what I mean? They're going off the market slowly. If Kawhi turns down the Lakers, could be a problem.
If he turned them down?
Yeah, if he goes somewhere else. Because all this time that they're waiting, right? Okay, for example, JJ Redick has gone off the board now, he's gone off the board. Nerlens Noel has gone off the board. You know what I mean? Like, all these guys, slowly but surely, they could come off the board.
That hurt OKC. He played well for OKC.
Yeah, he played well. They didn't give him enough. To me, they didn't give him enough minutes, man.
Nope, they didn't. They kept playing Steven Adams because that's Russell's best friend on the team. So
yeah. He's pretty good though. Adams pretty good.
He is pretty good, but Nerlens was better defensively around the perimeter.
But it's the thing. The Lakers. This is what I'm saying. You're right, man. Like, but this is what I'm saying. That's what people are paying for contracts. And can people, like, if I know I'm gonna get a chip, that's gonna bring my money up. I'm taking a pay cut, go over there and do that shit. Because I remember Trevor Ariza, he was playing for the Lakers now, and like when he got his championship, he could have stayed in Los Angeles. He bounced, bro. Got his money and bounced. He got, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, so dudes are still playing. They don't mind getting championship, though, but they want to get paid. They want to get paid. They like everything's about trying to get paid, man. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And
if Kawhi Leonard goes to the Clippers with Jimmy Butler, all bets is off on the Lakers. But I think they're taking their time because he really considering going there. Like I think the Lakers attract him more. I think he would have signed there if LeBron went to the playoffs. Like he would have definitely signed there because I think in his mind he just saw how he won in Toronto, so he saw how it was a group effort, like how they had a new scorer, a high scorer every different night. First it was Lowry, then it was Siakam, and then it was Gasol, and then it was always a new guy. So I think he tried to fill out the roster once he attached to the roster. Like what moves to get made. I think that's what's taking so long. Like because he's thinking of the injuries. Like he saw Golden State get injured in the finals, and that's essentially that's how he won was with Durant and Klay Thompson getting hurt. So he looking at hypotheticals like, what if I get hurt, or what if Anthony Davis, who used to have a history of getting hurt, get hurt, or what if LeBron get hurt again, like he did last year. So I think he weighing all that stuff out. Like Kawhi, real meticulous in how he thinks. His uncle Dennis is, I should say. So he real shrewd in how he moves. Like so, I think that's what they looking at. And once they set up all of that shit in motion, then I think he's gonna go to the Lakers now because of what the Rangers did.
So the Knicks have just signed Julius Randle on a 3-year, $63 million.
So they want Julius Randle and they want Boogie Cousins?
They got Boogie, I don't know, Boogie's just been speculated. But Randle used to be in the Lakers.
Yeah, he got drafted by the Lakers. He was really good.
Is he good? Is he a good player?
The Lakers had to trade him because they would have had to pay him a lot of money. Like, he's really good. And last year he had his best season. Like, he's a 20-10 guy. Like, you know who he reminds me of? He's like, he reminds me of what's his name? They used to play for Memphis. He used to play. Randolph. That's who he reminds me of. He's like a faster version of Zach Randolph. And to me, Zion is like a much faster, more athletic version of Zach Randolph. Like they kind of got similar builds. They shoot kind of similar. So I don't know about I don't know. Do y'all think Zion is a franchise-changing player? I don't see that.
I think it's up to Zion, because the thing is, it's all there for you if you want it. Like, he has the potential, but the comparison is to LeBron James. But LeBron James was a heady. Every team he been at, you know what I'm saying. Even when he was at high school, he was in control. He made sure he controlled certain pieces. He knew everything about everyone. So when he came to Cleveland, it was like feeling up. When they let him get control, what was then LeBron is like Zion looks like a guy. He's just one of the guys that just fits.
Hey, you know what team people shouldn't sleep on?
What's that?
The Indiana Pacers.
I was gonna say that, but the thing is, he coming back from injury. What's his name? I think he's coming up. Oladipo.
Oladipo.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
But they just signed Jeremy Lamb, and they signed Brogdon from the Bucks.
There should be
Malcolm Brogdon. Yeah, those two pretty solid pickups for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Indiana's gonna be in the mix now.
And now the Phoenix Suns have finally got a good point guard.
Oh, cool. He's just, yeah.
They got they signed Ricky Rubio.
Oh, Ricky.
He's not trash.
Ricky's trash, man. Ricky's trash, man.
Booker could be the 2 guard like he should be any fucking way.
Ricky's trash. I don't rate Ricky, man. I don't rate Ricky.
No,
Ricky Rubio is a floor general. That's
the thing. And the thing is, they needed a point guard.
What team is that? What team you talking about?
The Phoenix Suns.
I don't care about them, man. Ain't that shit, man? They don't care about them.
They're still young. They're still young, but they can beat some good teams this year.
That's one team I don't care about. Like Minnesota.
Borderline playoffs.
Them team Minnesota, I want nothing going on for them, bro. They just like there.
Still got the Minnesota, man. Like,
who's that point guard? Who's that point guard for them? Who's that point guard they got over there? The Phoenix. He played pretty good.
For who?
For Phoenix. What's the light skin boy? What's his name?
Devin Booker?
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. He ain't no fucking point guard.
Point guard, that's what we're saying. They needed a point guard.
Oh, I got you.
Because they needed a point guard so he could play in his proper position. And then they got DeAndre Ayton, who could actually be a good player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton is more of a throwback. Like he kind of got a game like Rick Smith. They used to play for the Pacers back in the days. Remember Rick Smith, the big white dude that was really good for them?
Jeez. Yeah, Rick Smith, I remember, yeah.
He kind of played like that guy. Like, he real slow, but he can pick his spots, and then he can hit that little elbow jumper, he can hit the little free throw jumper, then he can post up.
Derrick Rose went to the Pistons.
Yeah, I saw
that.
He
wanted to go there, though.
Why,
I don't know why.
The Kings signed Harrison Barnes.
Yeah, the King. Yeah, Harrison Barnes ain't. Yeah, man. Shit, man. I'm on Woj's thing right now. I'm like, yo.
That's what I mean. Like, all the things the Lakers are waiting on is costing them players. Like Terrence Ross, they could have signed Terrence Ross.
I think that's what I'm saying. I think they really about to get Kawhi Leonard because all of these guys that you mentioned, the Terrence Rosses, the J.J. Redick, all of these guys was on their radar, and then they just stopped negotiating with them for a reason. Like, I think they really either about to get him. Like, they talking to him heavily. LeBron probably somewhere.
Nolan's Well's gone to the Thunder, bro.
Who?
Nolan's Well. He's at the Thunder. He signed a return.
So he re-signed with them?
Yeah,
I thought he just said they signed with what's his name?
No, he with them. He didn't run out. He was saying,
Bojan Bogdanovic was on their He was on their radar. He's gone to the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, he was with Indiana. Like, that was a good pickup for them. Yeah, he was on there. That's what I'm saying. All of these guys was on their radar. Like, they really talking to Kawhi Leonard. And now that Durant just did that shit, I could just imagine Maverick Carter and Rich Paul and them talking to Kawhi Leonard. I could just imagine how that conversation going. Like, I could just imagine. Like, it's almost certain he's going to go to the fucking Lakers if he does leave Toronto. I think he's either going to. But I do like that situation. Like, I don't know which one of y'all brought it up with him and Jimmy Butler to the Clippers. I really like that. But if he doesn't do that, he's going to have to go to the fucking Lakers. Like, I don't think Toronto's going to. They're not going to go back to the finals next year because all of those teams are going to get better. Especially Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee's going to get much better. They lost Brogdon, which was a big blow to them. But I think that they're going to be a better team. They got to sign Middleton, though. Like, did he re-sign with them, or is he still a free agent?
Which man is that?
Chris Middleton.
Oh, what team?
Milwaukee Bucks.
I'm not too sure about him. What's the point guard? He was at Cleveland there. Is it Hill? He was at Cleveland with LeBron.
George Hill, yeah, we had.
He played good for them now.
He played great. He was playing really good for us in the playoffs. He just didn't do good in the fucking finals. But in the playoffs, he did good for us too.
Yeah, he did. He's just.
And then when the lights got real bright, his ass froze up like a deer in headlights, just like all the rest.
Yo, man, we love, man. I'm on Woj's Insta. Like, as soon as that news comes down, I want to see everyone waiting for Kawhi. How long do we have to wait before? Like, I thought straight away they should have done this move already. They waited, man. What the fuck they waiting for? Kawhi needs to just.
Well, the actual day you can sign and do all that shit is like the 2nd or the 1st of July, I think. But
the free agents is here, so what? He going around now shopping and looking. The fuck, man? Let's sign the Lakers already. Let's get that championship. Let's get another championship out here. You know what I mean? That's what's up.
I hope Kevin Durant come back full healthy, because I would love to see him and Kyrie on the floor together. Like, I'm back to being a real Kevin Durant fan again. I didn't like him because he was with Golden State.
Yeah.
Because I hate Golden State that much, but I really like Kevin Durant. So now I can go back to liking him again. I always like Kyrie. So I just can't wait to see how that shit gonna look. I hope he come back fully healthy and they click it, man, because that's gonna be a scary duo, man. That's gonna be like LeBron and him again. Like, it's gonna be scary. Like, now Durant gonna have to play some defense in order for that to work, because LeBron played defense when he was with Kyrie. He ain't playing no defense. Durant need to play fucking defense in order for it to work, because Kyrie don't play fucking defense. So one of them got to play defense.
Yeah, man, some good news.
Look at the block on Iguodala. Durant gonna have to do some shit like that in order, you know what I mean, for it to naturally work. But that's gonna be a scary fucking duo, because to me, those are the two best closers in basketball. Two best closers, especially Kyrie. but Durant is up there too.
Yeah.
But now it's like, I don't know. Now you go back to Klay Thompson and Curry. You got LeBron and KD. If Kawhi team up with Jimmy Butler, you will have him and Jimmy Butler. Like, you got a lot of great twos. There's 2-on-2s now. And then the third player, whoever got the best third player, the third option. Like Damian Lillard and McCallum. If Kawhi leaves, you'll have Kyle Lowry and Pascal Siakam. Like, it's going back to
Kawhi Leonard ain't gonna say anything today, man. People need to know he's gonna probably make his decision by like Thursday or something.
Yeah, he gonna wait. Man,
that's some bullshit. Why you waiting for? Man, let's go fucking get to a place.
It's hard, BJ. It's hard, bro. You gotta understand. He got a whole country that's willing to give him the moon.
Man,
but he don't really want to be there. Like, at the same time, it's like having a chick that you not really physically attracted to, but she buying you cars, she buying you everything you want. So it's kind of hard to give it up.
Yeah, but you know what? You
got the Lakers, who is your dream girl, that can offer you a lot of the similarities, but not giving you a free house. Like, they get him a free condo, and he get to eat free, go to any restaurant he want to eat free, and like all of that stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? He got a free penthouse downtown.
But this is the thing. In LA, it means more to him to be in LA, man. Like, all his family can come see him. Cause he's
so it's hard. It's hard, man.
Like, Marbury had it. That's why Marbury went to the Nets, yeah. He went to New York because he's like, yo, my family come see him. But that shit didn't work out, man. He's like, he should have stayed in Timberwolves. He should have never left the Timberwolves. They would have.
Hey, you know the one thing I will say, which has surprised me. I'm surprised the Warriors haven't announced that Klay Thompson has signed his deal.
Oh, Klay Thompson.
I think it was rumored earlier yesterday, or like in the middle of the day yesterday.
Because they said they'll be offering him the max, but they didn't say he's officially signed it.
Yeah, he didn't say he was gonna sign.
If he leaves Steph, he ain't gonna. If he leaves Steph, he ain't gonna be as good as he is, man. I'm just saying.
He gonna stay there because now he gets to be the second option in most situations.
Let me tell you something. Yeah, you say that. Yeah. But if Klay Thompson was to join LeBron James, I swear to you.
No, that's a murder, bro. That's murder.
That is probably one of the most perfect fits in the NBA. I'm telling you.
What, LeBron and fucking Klay?
LeBron and Klay is the perfect fit. That's the perfect fit.
I think Klay, to be fair, like, he on and off, it could be, but I don't know. Like, he love playing with Steph, man. They bounce off each other.
No, but LeBron would be a way better fit, TJ. Like, I saw a stat that they showed on in one of the finals game. I think it was game 2, I want to say. And they showed the stat was it was one of them games where he went off for like 30-something. Guess how long he had the ball in his hand?
How long? Yeah, I remember.
90 seconds.
Yeah, I know.
He scored 30 points and only had the ball in his hand for 90 seconds.
Yeah, I know that.
LeBron James is the best 3-point passer in the NBA. Like, that would be a match made in heaven. Like, his scoring average and everything will go up to at least.
I don't think he likes LeBron. Though. I don't think he likes LeBron. Yeah.
EJ, Klay Thompson scored 51 points by taking 4 dribbles.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, but I know you don't like LeBron, man. You don't fuck with LeBron.
He would get the sweet spot every.
Well, I don't know, but you can't really say that because LeBron, if he didn't fuck with LeBron wouldn't have brought him to his space to jump in Space Jam 2. So
yeah, he in Space Jam 2, EJ.
Nah, I don't mean that. Nah, I'm talking about to play with. Like, I think he likes.
Yeah, but nah, he would play with LeBron. When they asked Klay Thompson would he go to the Lakers, he was like, when they asked him, what do you? This was when LeBron first went to the Lakers. He was like, that's so cool.
Yeah, but he gonna be like but why would you do that when you're gonna be the 5th option? You can't just ball out.
Nah, he gonna be the second option if he team up with LeBron. Like,
no, man, Davis is second option.
LeBron about to take a step back. Anthony Davis is gonna be featured. He gonna be the one that's scoring the most points for them. And then it's gonna be Klay Thompson, and then LeBron. LeBron's gonna be the point guard and run the show that way. And allow Klay Thompson to get wide open 3 after wide open 3 because you're going to have Anthony Davis right there in the middle. So Klay Thompson's shot's gonna be wide open every fucking time, and LeBron gonna give it to him on this sweet spot every time, and all he got to do is just catch and shoot every time. He's not going to do nothing.
But the one thing I'm worried about is if Kawhi joins the Lakers, who becomes the number one option? Is it him or AD?
I think it's still Anthony Davis. I think they're going to feature Davis, and then Kawhi Leonard, and then LeBron, of course, and then Kyle Kuzma, or some nights it'll be LeBron, and like the pecking order will change. Because Kyle Kuzma is the one that's left out in this the whole time. Like, that dude is going to be really good. He's 6'7", 6'8", can put the ball on the floor, he can shoot, he can go to the rim. Like, he can do everything offensively. Like, it's just up to him whether or not he want to commit on defense. If he plays some level of defense, Kuzma's going to be a really solid player, man. So the Lakers will be too dangerous.
He's been working on shooting all summer.
Yeah, he's been working, man. Like, he's one of them kids that I watched the podcast with him and Danny Green. Danny Green interviewed him. Tail end, like, and he's fortunate. He was thankful he was in LA playing with LeBron and all them guys. And now he got Anthony Davis, so like that's gonna step his game up even more. Like, because now he playing meaningful basketball. You got to think he never went to the playoffs before. So once he gets some playoff success and see how that tastes. Like, that kid gonna be really good, man, and he can potentially be that next superstar. The Lakers don't even know that yet. Like, he only been in the league, 2 years now? And he had a raw-ass season in the first 2 years. So, he on the uptick. Like, he was that's why they kept him over Ingram. Like, because he's much better than Ingram is, like, especially with LeBron James. So, the sky's the limit for him, man. Like, if Kawhi goes there, man, like, it's gonna work. They can have a bunch of bums to fill out the roster, and they're still gonna win a championship.
You know the Knicks is hope.
Kawhi and Davis together on defense, bro. That's gonna be crazy because you got the perimeter on lock and you got the interior on lock. And then all LeBron got to do is just play the passing lane and do all that shit, as well as Kyle Kuzma. Because, like I said, he's 6'7", 6'8". He got a lot of height on the perimeter, and he got a long reach. So he'll be able to play defense out there, too. Like, their defense is going to be sick. And that's going to motivate LeBron to play more defense. Like, he ain't got to play that many minutes. The only reason why that team wouldn't win a lot of games, like 60-plus, is because of the minutes restriction that they'd be under. All three of those players, LeBron, AD, and we already know Kawhi Leonard, missed 22 games last year. So all of those guys going to be on minutes restriction. So I think it's just about getting in the playoffs for them. It don't matter what seed they are. Like, they don't really give a fuck, like, because they're going to beat anybody anyway. So,
and you know how people say, if Kawhi joins the Lakers, they how they're gonna like sign everybody or whatever. But to be fair, if Kawhi joins the Lakers, that'll be more easier for them to do load management.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll actually be more easier because
you got three superstars, so they can
man, you could play one night. You could play LeBron and AD with the guys. Then one night you could play AD and Kawhi with the guys, and then one night you could play Kawhi and LeBron with the guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're gonna just rotate, and then because there's three of them to sub in and out, so you're gonna always be competitive, and I would say out of the 82. They together, as all three of them playing all together, it'll probably be half of those games where they was all on the floor together. The other fucking games, the other 41 games, would be them rotating and shit on the load management.
Yeah, there was a rumor going around here. They were saying about this was at the time. They were saying the Blazers might trade for Kevin Love. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I don't know.
Yesterday I heard about that.
I think it would have been a good move.
Loud that, bro. Loud that. That guy's terrible.
I think it'd be.
He don't play no D, bro.
For him to go to the Boston Celtics, he would have been better with them because they about to lose Al Horford. So he a much better shooter than Al Horford. He's not as good defensively, but he can score better than Al Horford can. So that would actually be an upgrade for them. They'll be losing some defense, but they'll be gaining a lot of offense because he's a better three-point shooter. He's a better passer than Al Horford.
I prefer Al Horford. Al Horford's tougher. Kevin Love's weak.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Al Horford defensively and physically, he's better from that angle. Yeah. But as far as like what Boston need, now that you got rid of Kyrie Irving, that's a lot of scoring that's leaving. So Kevin Love can at least get you 20 points a game. Al Horford can't get you no 20 points a game.
Yeah.
Kevin Love ain't nothing but like 27 years old. He's still young. He just hit his prime. So that to me would actually be an upgrade for Boston if they was to pair him up with Kemba Walker and Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. You lost Terry Rozier. You still got Marcus Smart. You lost Aaron Baines. So you would have a really good team. I thought that to me was a much better fit. I did hear about the rumors with Portland for Kevin Love. That would be a good fit too, though, because Nurkic is more of an inside player, and then Kevin Love can stretch the floor. And y'all just lost Aminu, and y'all would still have Harkless, which is a pretty good player, out front court with Nurkic, and if y'all put Kevin Love right there at the 4, that would be decent for y'all. Y'all will score more points because Kevin Love gonna hit some shots for y'all. Like he'll get a lot of wide open looks too, because y'all guards like to penetrate and do all that shit, and he'll have a chance for a lot of rebounds because y'all guards like to shoot it. They one of the few guards that actually take a mid-range shot.
So the way we do it, man. The way we do it, man. That's too much noise, man. We do it.
No, just checking because my phone got thingy. I mean,
I like Portland, man. I want Portland to do well. I always liked Portland, but I really like them because McCollum is from here, and I used to watch McCollum when he was playing with the Bulldogs back in his AAU and all that shit. So yeah. I didn't expect for him to be as good as he did. Like he showed his ass in the playoffs, man. Like he took over a lot of them games against Denver and against OKC. Like he was showing his ass, man. So I always root for Portland, and then I like Damian Lillard. I always liked him. Like I agree with your statement. I don't know if he's the best leader, but he definitely top 5, like up there, as far as like team galvanizing around him and him, you know, having a positive locker room chemistry and all that. I agree with that. Like I always liked his attitude and shit. But and especially when he beat Russell and the way he beat him with that deep ass 3 like that was like epic. It's going down in history. It's one of the best shots in the history of the playoffs. Like by far. And that one, I think it's probably second because I ain't gonna lie, that Michael Jordan shot against Cleveland was a bit. Yeah, that was a bit crazy. That was nasty, but I ain't gonna lie. No, I would say Damian Lillard to me was better than that shot because Damian Lillard hit that shot from like 40 fucking feet against Paul George, who was a lot of people's defensive player of the year.
I would agree.
It was to close OKC out, who was favored to win that series. So I think his had more impact as far as significance.
I would agree, but the thing I would disagree is he also had the fact that if he missed, they're going to overtime. Michael Jordan had to make that shot because they were down.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? So it's one of them ones.
Difficulty and significance, I feel like that one was more impactful because OKC was the favorite to win that series. Like the Bulls was favorite to win against the Cavs.
I ain't gonna lie, that Kawhi Leonard 3 over that jump shot over Embiid, yeah, that's probably got to be like, you know, sometimes when you do things, yeah, in life, like the moment everything just feels so slow.
Yeah. That shot. There was some epic shots, man. Like in this playoffs alone, there was some epic shots, man.
Yeah,
epic shots.
To me, yeah. What would have been the best thing, yeah, was if Nick Nurse, yeah, didn't fuck up the game 5 when Kawhi was on that 10-0 personal 10-0 run, and then
he called a timeout.
He called a timeout.
Blew it. And fucking blew it.
He blew it, man.
They were the one in Toronto.
They should have swept. They should have swept Golden State. They should have swept them.
Yeah, they should have.
Should have fucking swept them. But they still beat them. They beat them down to the fucking ground and changed the course of history because now Durant.
Yo, they beat them. They beat them worse because they got Durant. If they beat them then Durant would have popped his cocks. You know what I'm saying? They beat them down. Clay busted up.
But I ain't gonna lie though. When KD came back for those quick, like that first
11 minutes,
yeah, he looked like he was on another level compared to everybody else. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but you know why? Because they don't.
If he was there, they would have beat the shit out of the damn Toronto because they wouldn't have been able to handle him the way he was playing. If he would have kept playing like that,
Yeah.
Like anybody, like they would have beat the shit out of him. But Kawhi was hurt. Like
they didn't put him in all. Is it all NBA? Like people, because that messed with his money. All NBA, whatever. Is it all NBA, whatever? Like the lineup. They didn't put him in there, and he was like pissed. It's like, yo, that fuck with my money. Like I don't understand what they're doing. Like they think I'm.
Hey, you know what I wanted to say, because when I joined, I heard Khalil talking about LeBron when he was in Miami.
Yeah.
Can you believe the disgrace that LeBron has only been All NBA defender one time?
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
All NBA defensive player, like all NBA team defense.
Yeah, they robbed him of Defensive Player of the Year 3 out of those 4 years in Miami. He definitely should have won that second year. That year they played OKC in the finals.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Takedown blocks. ESPN had a countdown of how many blocks he was gonna get. Like that shit was fucking insane, and all the steals and shit that he was getting.
Yeah.
And like I said, that was the year he locked down Tony Parker, and he locked down Derrick Rose and all. Like he should have won at least 2 Defensive Player of the Years. Like they was robbing LeBron. They didn't want him to have everything, man. They wanted to space the league out because they were salty he went to Miami. Had he stayed in Cleveland and did all of that stuff, he definitely would have won Player of the Year. But it was just like Curry and Durant. They took them out of MVP consideration once they joined up because they was 2 of the 3 top players in the league. So they looked at it like, well, y'all paths are easier to succeed because y'all feeding off each other. So they go kind of diminish what you do. But, I mean, it is what it is. Like, LeBron was incredible, though, bro. In Miami, he was fucking incredible. I hated when he left Cleveland like that, but at the end of the day, I can't take away from it the talent. Like, that motherfucker was amazing in Miami, man. Like, he was doing everything for them. Like, it was to a point where he led them in points, rebounds, assists, blocks, steals, everything. Like, every statistical category, he led Miami in at one point. Like, he was incredible. But at the end of the day, he got his 2 rings with them. He got a ring with us. We'll see what he do in L.A. He'll be the first player to win a championship with 3 different teams. Kareem did it once with the Milwaukee Bucks and the Lakers, and Kawhi just did it recently with Toronto and, of course, with the Spurs. So it ain't that many people, man. That's rarefied air right there. And if both of those guys, that's what I'm saying, if Kawhi Leonard goes to the Clippers, him and LeBron will be competing for that title of winning 3 with 3 different teams. So that's another thing right there. So it's a lot, man. I can't wait for the season, man. But Kawhi gonna take his sweet time. He don't have to rush into that, man. It's a hard decision to make, bro. Like, you just won with that team. They offering you the moon and the stars. Like, you want to go home, back to L.A. Like, it's a hard decision to make, man, because Kawhi, one of them guys, I don't think he want to disappoint nobody, but if he leaves Toronto, they really can't be disappointed, man, because you did something that they would have never had before. Like, you won them a championship. Like, they'll probably never win another one in that history.
You damn right,
probably
bro.
never win another one.
Yeah, it would have been nice if they got that win in Toronto, bro. I thought
they can't be mad at him if he leaves, man. Like, you just got to tip your hat to him and be like, thank you, man. Like, because before you got here, we was called the Crafters, the baby dinosaurs, like all of these bad names people was calling them and shit because they was getting beat by LeBron every year. Like LeBron told, like they even had that slogan and shit. That shit was embarrassing, man. And Kawhi Leonard took them to where nobody could take them. And I mean, just think about that. You had guys like Tracy McGrady, you had Damon Stoudemire, you had Vince Carter. Like you had so many good players come through Toronto, Chris Bosh, and none of them can lift you over that threshold. DeMar DeRozan, like. You had a lot of really good players that came through there, and Kawhi Leonard came through there in 1 year and won y'all the championship. So if I was I would go to L.A. Like, I would get up out of there, honestly. I like Toronto. I wish he had stayed just for the competitiveness of the NBA. I wanted to have more parity to it, so him being in Toronto, keep them in title contention as one of the favorites. But if he leaves, they just go back to a team that'll be good but won't make the playoffs. They'll go back to the same Raptors team that LeBron was stepping on every fucking year. But if he stay, they title contender. So I hope he stays, but I think he's gonna leave. Because I didn't think Durant would leave, but now that you look at it, they was building an excuse because remember when he got hurt, they was blaming the doctors and all of that shit. So that was like an excuse for him to leave. Because that's unfinished business. Like, you went over there to win championships. They moving into a new arena. You was hurt. You would have been the reason why. Now you going there seem more justified because instead of people criticizing you for going to an overpowering team, that overpowering team actually needed you to win the NBA Finals. And so everything was in his favor to stay now. And that doctor's excuse that they came up with and all that shit, like, at the end of the day, you know your body better than anybody. Durant been hurt a lot of times for him to know how serious he was hurt or not. I think he wanted to go in there too because he knew he was going to re-injure himself so he can get the fuck up out of Golden State and go be in Brooklyn where he wanted to be this whole time any fucking way. If Brooklyn would have had all this shit the first time around, he would have went there instead of Golden State. Like, I just think he I don't know, man. It's unpredictable. So who knows what Kawhi Leonard's going to do? He's probably going to leave there and go to the Lakers, which I think got a 75% chance of getting, like I alluded to earlier. I think they're the heavy favorites to land him now that Durant went over to Brooklyn because Toronto ain't beating Brooklyn if he healthy with Kawhi Leonard. It just ain't happening.
Yeah.
Just ain't happening, so.
Well, man, we'll have to see this, man. We'll have to see. I'm still looking on Woj, see if Woj any movements. I think that's the movements for tonight, man. I don't think Woj is changing anything for tonight, man. I think that's it, man. But
I used to like, you know what I used to like? I used to like when free agency was, like, when they released it at midnight, because you would get a lot of trades and all that stuff that would be happening at like 2 and 3 in the morning. And then you wake up and be like, wow, this person went there or that person went there. It would be more of a surprise. But when they allow it to happen during these hours, you able to keep up on it as it happened. I used to like that element of surprise better than like this. I mean, I don't know. That sounds kind of crazy, but I used to like that element a lot better, where they would have it at midnight.
Yeah.
Where everybody be asleep and everything, and then you just wake up to one of your favorite players on a new team, and you like completely like shocked by it.
Oh yeah.
And you want to watch?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I liked about the free agency back in the days.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, like the news comes out quickly on social media. Like, yo, this guy's going here. Yeah. That's true. That's true. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gonna see, man. Like, the league is you know. The league is what it is, man. But like I said to you, like, some of the moves, like the big threes, everyone's looking for the big three. I think it's like the big 4 or 5 now. I honestly, it's like 3 players. Back in the days, they had the 3 players, they were dominant now. But now, I reckon, yo, you need a whole team, bro. You need a whole friggin' superstar of teams, man, to just that don't even guarantee you will win a championship. You should do, but there's no guarantee.
Chemistry.
Yeah, there you go. Coach, chemistry. You know what I'm saying?
Everything goes into it, man. Like, I mean, Toronto is a prime example of that. I mean, now, like we said, we're able to use them as a better barometer of saying that because Durant got hurt. If Durant didn't get hurt, Golden State would have definitely won that championship. I think Toronto would have made it competitive, but we're able to use all these different variables and everything now that they won, like with the load management. And all of these things, like, we're able to equate all these things into our conversations now because they had success. But Golden State was still the cream of the crop, bro. Like, Durant left now, so that just opened everything up. Like, everything is super wide open now, man. Like, now Golden State go back to being a really good team, but not like this all-time great team. Like, they're a really good team now because they don't have the horses they used to have. With all those bench players, like, they got enough cap space, like Dwayne talked about, to beef up their roster again. But just like the Lakers letting all these free agents pass by, who would they get in order to compete? Because Klay Thompson gonna miss with the majority of the season, so it's basically just Curry and Draymond and Iggy. Yeah, I don't know who else they got. Who else do they have?
Well, you know what I'm saying? They go see what happened with them. They go be thereabouts. But like you said, man, you take KD out of it, but they're just average, man. Like, you know what I mean? They're just average team. They had a good little run, getting the championships. You know what I'm saying? So they nice, but in the end of the day, it's like every dynasty. This is the end. Iggy's old. You know what I'm saying? Like, Clay's like, yo, you ain't showing me no respect. They better give him the max money. You know, Steph's always gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? Draymond is Draymond. You know what I'm saying? So if they want to keep them together, they're gonna have to pay. But you know, we see what it is. But they still need another piece now because Durant. You know, they were pretty good, yeah. They're a pretty good team, but bruv, to be a superstar team without Kevin Durant, like that's just like, yo, bruh, that guy was bad, bruh. That he could score at every angle. You could throw the ball to him anytime and he'll make the money. Like clutch shots and everything, you know, like every time. You know, and if you double team him, he could pass. Like, oh man, you just, you know what I'm saying. But Kevin Durant's he got the heat on his neck now, playing with Kyrie. They gonna play good.
That big market, Brooklyn is a big market. I mean, we'll see, man. Like now, this is what, because I mean, you can tell Durant cares about his legacy because those rings in Golden State, people wasn't giving him credit for because he joined a loaded roster. But in the same token, now
done a good job.
Looked like they needed him. But now he won his own team because at the end of the day, that's still Stephen Curry's team.
Yeah.
So now Brooklyn would be his team. He would have a really good sidekick in Kyrie Irving because Kyrie Irving can't lead a team by himself. So now he got his newer version of LeBron. So now let's see what they do. I mean, they got the team they joined and went to the playoffs. They didn't have to give up nothing except for D'Angelo Russell, which is basically like Kyrie is a better upgrade than that. And now let's see what Durant really made of. Like we gonna see what you really made of now. You don't have all those shooters like that, like fucking Curry and Thompson and all of them. Like, now let's see what you got. Let's see what you made of now. This is your team, just like OKC was. Now let's go. Let's see what you about.
Yeah, let's see what you about.
Got it.
Alright, Kyle, man, we're going to end it right here, bro, on this thing, bro. But I appreciate you coming over, Kyle. We talking the NBA. If anything else pips up, me and Kyle going to cover it for real, but we're going to be jump on it, yeah. But we expect the news is that we're waiting for that. I think it's the news with Kawhi. That's what we're waiting for. You know what I'm saying? So we can officially lay it down. But I think we broke it down pretty well with the Wayne, whatever, what's going to happen. But right now, Kyle, are you saying officially that if Kawhi goes to the Lakers right now with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, is that a championship right there?
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. 100%. Nobody will be able to compete with that.
Yeah,
too much firepower.
Yeah.
Way too much firepower.
It's the length and Kawhi's on his game. LeBron's on his game. It's like, yo, it's going to be good. I think they play well. I think stylistically, they can play some real high-level basketball, you know what I'm saying? And I look forward to it. I was never a hater when LeBron went to Miami. I embraced that. I said, I understand why everyone was getting upset. I understand why, you in Cleveland because you're over there set. But I said, at the end of the day, like I knew the idea that they were riding players. You never got a championship. They were just doing that spitefully. So now it's like, oh, he got a championship, but he's weak though. I was like, yo, hold up, we can't. What are you saying? You're saying 1 minute he done all this, but he never got a championship. Now you're saying, oh yeah, but he's doing these moves this week. I said, listen, bruh, what? Listen, fuck you. I tell you what, we're gonna get our championships and let history tell us what it is. Whether you think I'm weak or whatever. And I think, end of the day, the sports writers and Stephen A. Smith and some of them guys at ESPN, man, some of the stuff they be putting out and saying stuff. I remember Skip Bayless used to ride LeBron James, man. He used to ride him. He ain't that good. He never been that good. LeBron started losing his hair out here, bruh. I said, yo, they start having implants in his hair. The way LeBron's in his headband. I was like, this guy's a young man. And they stressed this guy out to the point that he was losing his hair. So, fuck them. It's all about trying to get a ring. I don't care how you grade me. I'm going to get mine. And that's the way I think it is. Because if you look at Isaiah Thomas, the way he tried to do the right thing, his sister died, he still played, and they fucked him. You know what I mean? That's what they did. That's exactly what they did. Mm-hmm. So I don't give a fuck about them. And I roll with the players. If the players want to join each other and have a super team, so be it. You know what I mean? Like, even when you're playing 2K, it's like, yo, this team sucks. I'm going to trade these guys off. When you're playing 2K. Yup. That's what we do. And 2K, when you're playing it, it's like real life anyway. That's exactly what's happening. Life, yeah, and you know what? And when you're playing 2K, yeah, when you're playing 2K, you shoot from the halfway line. Guess what? Kid, that's what Steph grew up watching. Shoot from the halfway line, near the halfway line. It's like, yo, he's shooting like it's 2K. Well, that's what he must have been playing, bro. Because that's the way he plays the game. And at the end of the day, yeah, I don't give a shit. They can complain all they like. But the bottom line is, I have a ring. what you gonna say now? And if I get another one, then what you gonna say now? You ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck you. I'm gonna do my thing. These people who run the sport, they ain't got no respect for the athletes. And I think athletes are doing the right thing, getting paid. If I'm gonna get a ring, if I'm gonna get a ring, or I'm gonna get paid. But one of the two's happening. I'm gonna make sure I ain't gonna end up broke. And you know, nothing what Ice Cube's got there is the big three. Yo, if you don't pop out there, the big three this season is really competitive. And they dropped the age bar down. I think it's really competitive. The games are real crisp. So, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things the players can do after they finish playing. But at the end of the day, it's all about this. Like, people go and judge Russell Westbrook. Oh, he shoots more than Kevin Durant. Okay, Kevin Durant's not there now. He got a triple-double straight away after that. Like, MVP. Now what? You know what I'm saying? Now what? Oh, but he ain't got a ring yet. These people, you can't please them, right?
Nope.
Yeah, so
I think players is viable. They trying to get both. They trying to get the money and the ring. I think Melo was the last person, as far as a quote unquote superstar, to just go for the money. I think these guys, a lot of these guys, like the Dwayne Wade, the LeBrons, the Brushes, like all of those guys took pay cuts. Like now they want their full maxes with the rings and everything. So I mean, you still got guys sacrificing. You look at Durant; he would have made way more money had he stayed in Golden State. And Kyrie would have made more, but they took less to go try to win a ring. You know what I mean? So you still got examples of guys sacrificing big money to win ultimately, which is what the goal is. It should be for every player, not named Carmelo Anthony, of course, but I think they want both now. So
I think, yeah. And that's what they try to. And then what my point was, that's what they try to do to LeBron. They try to ride him out, man, stress him out, look him lose hair, and LeBron said, "Fuck you. Okay, Cleveland. You don't wanna pay out money to get the best players in. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go learn how to learn what it's like to win, and then bring that shit back to Cleveland." And that's exactly what he did, man. Like, he didn't have to be that way. But Cleveland weren't putting out. Like, they weren't putting out.
No, Cleveland wasn't putting the right talent around them. They wasn't trying to spend the money. And Dan Gilbert was being cheap. Yeah.
But he came back and paid and put the money. You know what I'm saying? Wiggins, I still think Wiggins should have stayed there, man. I'm not going to lie. I said Wiggins, Wiggins would have been better. Kevin Love, when I think about the championship, bro, I know he could pass, but Wiggins would have been a better addition now, man. Like, I still don't think... Like, I still feel the LeBron and Kyrie carried the team. It's just my opinion. I think Wiggins would have fit right in there. He was athletic. He could rebound at the time. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Love was a center, but Tristan Thompson was coming in there. Tristan Thompson played more minutes than Kevin Love, and he was injury free. Kevin Love's a diva, man. That's just my opinion. You can't not like when I think of the championship, I don't think of Kevin Love, bro. I just don't. You know?
No, you can't though, because he really didn't have an impact on the series.
All the season, right? All the season, all
marginal at best.
Yeah,
he missed some games.
Yeah,
he missed like 2 of the games, and then he was injured. He just wasn't there. Like,
no. And even after Cleveland left, now Tyree was there, Kevin Love was there. What they do? They ain't do nothing. Like, so you see what I'm saying? Injured. Like, I'm just saying, like that because you got another number. It was number 1. You got another one. He was number 1 pick, right? Or was he number 2 or something?
Who was that?
What's his name? The one we just talked about, the player that they traded for Love.
Oh, Wiggins. Wiggins was number 1 overall.
Yeah, like he was a number 1. It was a number 1, and you just let another one just walk out the door. I was like, yo, bruh.
Yeah, but in hindsight, Wiggins' career has done nothing. He hasn't done nothing.
He was pretty good when he started off, man. I really liked it, man.
You got to think about it though. I mean,
he would have blossomed. I tell you what, though, he would have blossomed under LeBron, though. He would have blossomed under LeBron.
I think he would have been. I think he would have been good for us, but I think Kevin, defensively, definitely, he was better. He definitely was athletic, but I don't know, man. Like, cause his heart wasn't there, and.
What about this? He would have
did what Rodney Hood did. He just would have faded away. Like, he would have been like, damn, what happened to him?
What about this though, right? He would have been in Cleveland, right? And like instead after LeBron left, I think he would have I think he would have tried to hold it down, bro. He would have been a go-to guy. Like, Kevin Love is weak, man. Like he put up the numbers. They never got to the playoffs. Yeah, they were talking about his numbers, but I looked at him and said, but you always could Bosh and them guys get to play like Anthony Davis. So, like, at the end of the day, like, LeBron has just been carrying Kyrie, and Kyrie was injured. LeBron mainly just doing the whole thing. Kyrie, they contributed, but LeBron was the body of the, like, you take LeBron out of any team, and then you see, like, you put, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could tell straight away how much this man impacts the game. Like, he is an impactful player. When he's on the court, you have a good chance to, you have like 85% of winning when he's healthy. 85% of him winning, you know? Because he does so much things. He can get fouls. His free throws weren't that good this season, by the way. That I was worried about. That was a bit of worry. But his 3-point game and his post game, medium range game, jump shot is peak. And his block shots, jeez. Yeah, he's passing. Ha. Listen, that guy is one of the most complete guys ever to play the game.
Who are you talking about?
LeBron James.
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't know, man. Wiggins, his heart, it's like his motor ain't, it's like he'll have a good game and then he'll fall off for like the next 10 games. And then he'll have another good game and then the next 10 games you don't hear from him. Like, he's way too inconsistent. And he got a much better team around him than when Kevin Love had it. It's just when you compare the stats, it's not even close. Like, Kevin Love in Minnesota versus Andrew Wiggins' career in Minnesota. Kevin Love had a way better career in Minnesota than Andrew Wiggins did. And Andrew Wiggins got a much better team. Like, Kevin Love didn't have a Karl Anthony Towns and a Jimmy Butler and Jamal Crawford and all these guys on his team. Like, he didn't have all those guys, and he still was able to do what he did, which have a better impact than what Wiggins did. Wiggins was he showed some promise, but then he just he faded away.
When Butler came over, he faded. Like, he was all right before, when Butler came over.
Then once Butler left that this whole season he didn't play with him. Like, so he had a whole season without Jimmy Butler, and he didn't do anything.
Yeah, but he was bad before Butler came there.
He was a little better. I agree with that. He was a little bit better.
Exactly. There you go. When Butler came, I think he.
Yeah, but he should have got better once Butler left, just like Karl Anthony Towns did. When Butler left, Karl Anthony Towns turned into an all-star after Jimmy Butler.
I don't rate him either. I don't rate him either. I don't think he's okay, but he's just not athletic.
Yeah, he a top 10 big man in the league. He's real good offensively, and he played defense, but.
Yeah,
but he's not a leader. He don't have leadership intangibles. That's why Minnesota always underachieved.
You know, the thing is about like you look at the kid from Boston, that guy who got drafted, right? I was looking at, you know, like guys who come from like college and make an impact. You really, like, back in the days, guys used to come in from college and they used to do things, but these days you're really lucky if any guy from college. Like, look at this guy, the guy in Philadelphia. The guy they traded, he's in Orlando now. What's his name again? Markelle Fultz.
Markelle Fultz.
Oh my, they're saying like they got him. They don't even know who he's gonna play. I was like, what the hell happened to him, bro? Like, he was nice. His game was complete and everything. And I was like, yo, it's like they fuck with his head, telling me he can't shoot the way he shoots, and he tried to change his shot. And then now he just I think he just lost all confidence in the game, bro. It's madness.
Yeah.
That just tells you when people. That's what I'm saying about these days, right? How kids, they're not strong-minded. He should have blocked all that social media stuff out, right? And just play ball. That's what you got to do, man. You can't be listening to Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless. You know, Shannon Sharp's okay when he's riding with you, but like you can't. You know what I'm saying? You can't listen to these dudes out. They will just destroy your career, bro. And Kevin Durant, he's always angry all the time. You know what I'm saying? You can't just listen to these people. They will just, like, NBA in this day and age, turn off your social media. Like Kawhi does that. He turns off his social media. He don't listen to none of them. They should take example from him and just don't care what people say. Just do your shit and don't bother about people, because what Kawhi did is what any athlete should do. Lock them off. Lock off these sports writers and reporters about your business. Charles Barkley, number one. His mouth is bad, bruh. Charles Barkley. He's got a big mouth about everything, innit? You ask Charles Barkley, he'll burn you up, bro. Why are they complaining for? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, all right, Kawhi, all right, man, Kyle, man, we chopped you up, man. So yeah, we catch you on the next one when we talk about Kawhi, if he moves or where he moves on the next one, man. So appreciate you coming over, and we catch you on the next one.
All right, EJ, see you, bro.
Yeah, man, take care, peace.
Thanks for having me.
You too.
DJ Boxing Live here. DJ Boxing Live here.